Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the warm, friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where tonight the Lady Senators take center stage in a crucial PLAC showdown. Coach Russell's group has won 2 in a row in blowout fashion over both the Lady Lancers of Edinburgh and over Rock Creek on the road Monday night. Meanwhile, the Lady Wolfpack come to town with a 10-6 record overall on the season and a 3-0 record in conference play. So tonight, obviously, a crucial battle between these two PLAC powers, both the Lady Senators and Lady Pack, in a fight for supremacy in the Patoka Lake Athletic Conference. And your countdown to this tip starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me in just a moment for tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball will be my sidekick and broadcast partner, Senator Football's own Coach Mark Gibson. Well, as we roll down the stretch here, it's crunch time for the Lady Senators as they look to wrap up the regular season. This means, of course, that the conference portion of their schedule is starting to wind down as well. To this point, the Lady Senators have certainly shined in their 4 conference games thus far, getting out to large leads in all of those games and then managing to kind of steer the ship home and fight off any last-second comebacks despite efforts from Mitchell and Valley in trying to do so. However, with just 2 games remaining, the margin becomes very thin, or the margin of error rather becomes very thin for this Lady Senator group. And tonight it starts with a matchup against, again, this Lady Wolfpack team from Crawford County that's rock solid and battle tested. So if the Lady Senators want a chance to win things outright in the Patoka Lake and have a chance to set the stage for a big showdown here next Thursday night against the Lady Rams, and a chance to win the conference with a 6-0 mark, Coach, it's going to take a solid effort here again on their home floor tonight. But in a game like this, you know, this was the type of game that always got me juiced, had the adrenaline flowing, and I was in the zone and ready for these big-time matchups and games whenever things were really on the line. And, of course, most kids are. But at the same time, when you look at high school level kids, junior high, even elementary kids, sometimes against certain teams, you get too much adrenaline and it's hard to kind of keep things in focus and things in perspective early on. So how do the Lady Senators manage to do that here tonight early and set the tone?
Well, yeah, I think controlling your emotions is a very important and key part of athletics, especially in big games like this. I mean, you have to be able to slow the tempo down at times, you know, and not talking about the game of the tempo, but the tempo that you're feeling inside of you. You just have to be able to control your emotions because, like you said, if you get too amped up, especially early in games. I mean, even Nick Saban, Coach Saban, Alabama, was talking about that before the national championship game Monday. You have to be able to control yourself at the very beginning or things can kind of get out of hand or kind of get just kind of out of whack, and you don't want to start like that. So you want to start with a nice, confident feeling, but one that's under control and easy, and it makes you, you know, feel good about yourself.
Well, as I said, on the flip side, the Lady Wolfpack enter tonight's contest very battle-tested. They have played a rather tough schedule, opening up with the likes of teams such as our 2 county rivals in Salem and Eastern early on, playing North Harrison as well, not too far from Crawford, another one of their big rivalry teams. And of course, you know the story if you're a follower of basketball in Southern Indiana over the last couple of years. The Lady Cats, North Harrison, a tough team. This Crawford team managed just 10 points against the Lady Cats and Missy Boyle's small club. But this is a group, as I said, that's battle-tested, and they're led by an inside-out duo. And it starts out in the backcourt. Addie Simpson, a 5'7" junior. She leads the team at 17 points per game. And then they've got Treasure Nicholson, a 5'10" freshman big inside, averaging nearly a double-double as well. So, again, another opportunity for Coach Russell's group to show their diversity defensively, because they're going to have to be able to defend and shut down both the perimeter and the block here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Simpson has been a beast against us for the last 2 years. I remember her freshman year down here that she really gave us trouble. So, I mean, yeah, you know, I expect Coach Russell, you know, to employ the jumping trap and the jumping press at sometimes. And, you know, sometimes, you know, the last couple of games we've done against Trinity and against Edinburgh, sometimes we're at our best when we're pressing and running and going a mile a minute. So I would expect to see what kind of ball handlers they have. I bet he tests that early on to see what kind of ball handlers they have, because, you know, the best defense to keep the ball, you know, on certain players is to keep the ball away from them. Now, is she going to be bringing the ball up the court? We'll see. That could be something that Coach Broughton decides to do. Keep the ball in your best player's hands. So, yeah, but I would expect us to use our length, create some trouble and some chaos in the passing lanes, and get after them with that press.
And as they've taken the floor for the warm-ups, Coach, when you look across the roster, it's not a huge roster, but again, they do offer some size in the post and some athletes that can not only play on the inside, but they can also attack from the outside. And Coach Russell talked a little bit with me today about their versatility, so that's a little bit of a concern for him as well.
Well, just judging by the JV game, they got some shooters. I mean, and it's not just all from behind the arc. They did a really nice job in the JV game of about 8 to 12 footers. They did a really nice job, especially along the baseline. So, yeah, you look out there, and there's definitely some athleticism. And, we know about Simpson, and, you've heard that the youngster, the freshman, the Nicholson girl has really played well for him.
Well, as always, we want to step aside for just a second here during our Lady Senator tip-off pregame show, as always, to thank you, the fans, for tuning in tonight to our broadcast here on WSLM, 1220 on the AM dial, as well as thanking our sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator and Lady Senator basketball possible. And those sponsors include our pregame show sponsor tonight and all season long for both the boys and girls, John Jones, GM City, there on the outskirts of town, 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem, as well as our halftime sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem, and bringing you the post-game coverage tonight, Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their January bargains of the month. Also on our sponsor list, McDonald's and Marie Lowry on the south side of town there on Main Street. We thank Marie for her loyal support, as well as Walmart in Salem, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, and Brady Bishop with Channel Seed. Without their generous support, we wouldn't be able to bring you this broadcast here tonight. We'll step aside, take our first break of the night on our John Jones GM City Countdown to the Tip. And when we come back, we will talk with Lady Senator head coach Darren Russell and get his thoughts on the night's matchup with the Lady Wolfpack and take a reflective look back at the last couple of outings for the Lady Senators. But first, this break to hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the Lady Senators on Salem's 1220.
Before the big plays, before the magical moments, before all that discipline, dedication, and teamwork finally pays off, comes your support. The IHSAA Foundation is dedicated to protecting, sustaining, and nurturing education-based athletics in Indiana. Its work will ensure IHSAA member schools and coaches receive the support they need so that Indiana student-athletes receive the opportunity they deserve. Learn more at ihsaafoundation.org.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our Lady Senator tip-off pregame show as we get you set for a battle of conference rivals and powerhouses. The Lady Wolfpack of Crawford County enter tonight with a 3-0 mark in conference play. The Lady Senators stand at 4-0, and the winner will be certainly in the driver's seat the rest of the way home. We're joined now on our pregame show by Lady Senator head coach, Mr. Darren Russell. Coach, fresh off of a big win over Edinburgh here on Saturday night in the boys-girls doubleheader, and able to walk away with a 67-49 win, and then turn around and go on the road to Rock Creek Monday night. You come out with an 86-43 rout. So talk to us a little bit about, where your team's at after those two games and how that sets you up for this final conference push.
Well, the Edinburgh game, as we talked after the game, I was not real pleased. We got the win, which is the most important thing. We won by a large margin against a sectional opponent, but I just felt like that we did not play extremely well and extremely smart the entire time. I'm not sure we were completely focused, and that may be because we played at 6 o'clock instead of normal time. May have been because there's a boy-girl doubleheader. Who knows? But I did not like like our performance that night, but we bounced back on Monday and played extremely well, very focused. And, you could tell we were focused because on Saturday night we shot, 42%, something like that from the free throw line. And then on Monday we shot 80% as a team. So, usually how you shoot free throws gives you a pretty good indicator of how focused your team really is.
And, of course, you get a big effort on Saturday night out of Cass Keltner and Maddie Bausman as they lead the way with a combined 39 points. Cass has a career-high 21. Maddie chips in 18. And then Cass keeps it rolling against Rock Creek with 20 on Monday night. But you get some other girls involved in the scoring and get a little bit of a boost that they haven't been able to give because they just haven't been able to get good shots to go down.
Right. And, it's important, especially as we go into sectional, that we develop that constant threat on the inside because, teams know that we have guards who can score, and, they've kind of, I'm not going to say backed off of our post players, but, they've not put the pressure on like they usually do. And, by Cass and Maddie stepping up, the Trinity game and then Edinburgh and then Cass carrying it over Monday night because Maddie was sick, if we can force teams to really double down on our post, then that creates more openings for our shooters, and basically comes down to teams have got to take a chance. Are we going to let their post players score or give them one-on-one inside, or are we going to take that away and take a chance on leaving someone open three-point line?
Because, Coach, as you just mentioned, it gives the guards a good opportunity. If you can pound the post first, because whether it's man or zone, it gives your guards a chance to relocate, maybe set their feet for a little bit better look.
Right, you're exactly right. And, right now I think we're taking good shots, but those girls know that defense is coming at them hard, and, they're going to have to get rid of it quicker than maybe they want to, or ideally they want to. So, we've got to have that post presence, and, that's going to be a huge factor come tournament time.
And then, of course, Coach, you look forward to tonight's matchup with the Lady Wolfpack of Crawford County. And as I said in the open, 3-0 in conference play, 10-6. They're fresh off of a nice win at home against Marty's Lady Hawks of Springs Valley. So talk to us a little bit about what Coach Broughton's team brings to the table tonight and what concerns you on both ends of the floor.
Crawford County starts with Addie Simpson. Last year as a sophomore, she was the best player in our conference, and she's a year older. And she's still doing the same thing. She's probably, we've not played Paoli yet, but I would say she's definitely the best player in our conference again this year. She's a guard, she's a forward, she does it all for them. She gets the ball down the floor in a hurry. She can step out and shoot from the outside. She's also probably one of their leading rebounders because she attacks the glass hard. And, that's the key to them. If you can shut her down or limit her, then you've got a good chance to win the ball game. They've got other kids who can score. The Covella girl is a good outside shooter. Brooke Elliott comes off the bench, just coming back from ACL surgery. But she's a really good outside shooter. She had 16 the other night against South Central. So, they've got kids who can score. They've got a freshman post that is not real big, not real physical, but she's athletic, gets up and down the floor. So, we want to try and really get it inside tonight and use our strength inside.
Coach, you just hit on the point I was going to next, a chance to play another big that's a freshman in the Nicholson girl, averaging 8 and 8, but perhaps a chance with her frame to be able to be a little bit physical with a rotating group like Cora and Maddie, Cass, even whenever you throw Bailey in, girls that can really rough her up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. We've not had the opportunity this year to play many teams with a post that we were actually going to be stronger and more physical than. So we got to take advantage of it tonight, and main thing is be smart and not be overly physical where we get some silly fouls called on us.
Coach, we talked about this earlier this afternoon when we were sitting and talking, the fact that this team, they only average about 47 a game, but defensively they've been pretty sharp at giving up 40 points per contest. How do they get it done?
They just play hard. They play hard. They play very aggressive, whether they are man or zone. They're going to, wherever the ball's at, they're going to be right there. And their kids know that they can trust their teammates, that if they get beat, there's going to be help side defense there. They rotate really well. So, they take a lot of pride in their defense. So, it's going to be more difficult for us to score tonight.
Coach, give me the biggest X factor in this matchup tonight with Crawford, and whether that's team-wise in a stat or whether that's an individual matchup.
There's a couple. I think we've got to block out and rebound, limit them to one shot. That's going to be a key. That's a key every game, but especially against a team like this. And then we got to slow Simpson down. We can't allow her to go off for 28, 30 points like she did on Springs Valley Tuesday night. That's a huge matchup for us. But again, if we come out focused, then, I feel really good.
What about the health of your team entering tonight's big matchup, and what about your lineup?
Well, Cora will be back. She played about a minute and a half each quarter on Monday night at Rock Creek. So, hopefully she got that rust out and is going to be ready to go some tonight, or more time than what she went on Monday. Maddie was sick Monday, didn't play at Rock Creek, was still not feeling well on Tuesday, didn't come to school, came back yesterday, looks a lot better today than she did yesterday. She's going to be ready to go tonight. Other than that, Allie Brown, she's homesick. She went home yesterday sick. But other than that, we are in pretty good health, I think.
And what about your starters?
We'll go with Hattie at the point, Ryan and Chelsea at the guards, and then Cass and Maddie on the inside, and then bring Cora and Taylor and Bailey off the bench.
Coach, look forward to a big primetime matchup tonight with the Lady Wolfpack, and hopefully we're sitting and talking about a 5-0 conference mark after this one.
I certainly hope so. Thank you.
Coach Darren Russell joins us on our Lady Senator tip-off pregame show. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to the Lady Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
I'm here at John Jones GM City in Salem, Indiana, and I'm talking with sales manager Troy C.
It's 2018. Start your new year with a new car from John Jones GM City in Salem. Save over $9,600 on a new Silverado Crew Cab. And if you like luxury, drive home a brand new LaCrosse with leather and on-screen navigation. Save up to $12,000. Now that's starting the new year strong. And if zero is your hero, cash in on 0% interest for up to 6 years on qualified vehicles. We also have lots of local trade-ins, many priced around $5,000. It's your year. Start it off strong at John Jones GM City, 1450 Highway 60 in Salem, Indiana. Call 800-I-SELL-GM or visit us online anytime at johnjonesautogroup.com.
John Jones GM City. You see so many because they paid so little.
Back once again inside the warm, friendly confines here on the Ron Smith Court. Rolling down to the starting lineups and the national anthem. Let's quickly bring you our keys to victory, brought to you by John Jones GM City, our pregame show sponsor. First and foremost, it's got to be that inside-outside look. Establish the post. Let our shooters relocate for good open looks. Secondly, free throws. Got to be able to knock them down. You heard Coach say they were much better on Monday night down at Rock Creek than they had been the last couple of games. And finally, immediate intensity. This is a game where you've got to come out, have that foot on the throat mentality immediately and try to put these guys away and keep them there. And our keys to victory brought to you by John Jones GM City all season long. Call the good folks at John Jones GM City, 1-800-I-SELL-GM, 1-800-473-5546. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com, or better yet, stop by and check out their beautiful showroom and lot, 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones GM City. You see so many because they paid so little. We'll come back and have the John Jones GM City starting lineups for the Lady Wolfpack and Lady Senators in a moment. We're going to take our final break and end our pregame show coverage. And when we come back, we'll have that lineup and the opening tip here tonight in this crucial PLAC showdown. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. marching Senator pep band, able to complete the national anthem with much success as always. And that leads us to our starting lineups, brought to you by John Jones GM City, 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones GM City, you see so many because they paid so little. Tonight's starting lineups: first for the Crawford County Lady Wolfpack, 10-6 on the year, 3-0 in the Patoka Lake with wins over Springs Valley on Tuesday night, also wins over Mitchell and Perry Central to boot. Chris Broughton, the head coach in his 5th season, he's a 55-54 mark winner in Crawford County. Again, in his 5th season, his team averages 46.9, and they give up 40.1 per ball game. Their last outing was that 51-48 win over Valley on Tuesday night at the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium. He will start a 2-guard set. Addie Simpson will start at 1 guard, 5'7", and a junior, leading the team at 17 points and 8 rebounds per contest. Joining her in the backcourt will be number 24, Callie Jo Sturgeon, 5'6", and a junior at 2 points per ball game. Up front at the 3 spot, number 5, Brenna Hammond, 5'6", and a senior at 4.5 points per game. On the other block, number 13, Kendra Covell, 5'7", and a senior at 9.6 points per contest for the Lady Wolfpack. And in the middle, number 30, the 5'10" freshman, Treasure Nicholson, 8 points, 8 rebounds per contest. Now for Coach Darren Russell's Lady Senators, 41-30 in his 3rd season. Coach Russell looking for win number 42 in his career. His Lady Senators average 65.5 per game and give up 51.5 per outing. Their last game, that win at Rock Creek on Monday night, and it was a rout, 86-43 the final. His team's 14-6 on the year, 4-0 in conference play. He'll start a 3-guard set as usual. Number 1, Hattie Griffith, starts at the point, 5'5", and a junior, at 10.8 points per game and 5 rebounds and nearly 4 assists per ball game. Ryan Russell, number 3, starts at the shooting guard spot, 5'7", and a sophomore, 10.7 per game for Ryan, as well as 4.5 rebounds per contest. The 3rd guard in that trio in the backcourt, number 5, Chelsea Carter, 5'4", and a senior at 12.1 per ball game to lead the team and nearly 3.5 rebounds per contest. Up front, the 2 that's made it go in the last couple of outings in the paint, number 2, Maddie Bausman, the 5'10" junior. Maddie averages 10.7 as well and over 7 rebounds per game to lead the team. Her running mate in the front court, number 10, will be the 5'11" sophomore, Cassidy Keltner, 8.4 points per game and 6 rebounds. And again, those 2 have been demolishing people in the post in their last couple of outings played together in the absence of senior Cora Miller, who rejoins the lineup tonight. She will be in the 8-man rotation for Coach Darren Russell and his Lady Senators. This series, the last 15 years, Crawford's dominated 12-3. Crawford has won the last 3 in a row. Coach Darren Russell looking for his first ever win against the Lady Pack. He stands at 0-2. Last year, it was a 55-43 win for the Lady Pack, again in the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officiating crew, Mr. Brett Deckard, Brian Patton, and Billy Schaefer. And away we go. The Lady Senators will control the opening tip, and the Lady Wolfpack will come out and match up early in a little man-to-man defense. Nice post feed, mid-post to Keltner, goes baseline into Bausman, back to Keltner, nice turnaround jumper. It won't go off the glass. Rebound fought for. Nice crowd on hand tonight. Senator Band in the house. Crawford's brought a very large following as well. And Coach underway with another good start. Good shot at the other end earlier. Wouldn't go in the first possession, but we forced an early turnover, and right back to Keltner we go underneath, and she finishes strong this time.
Looks like another up and down ball game. You know, it's kind of like what Lutheran and Edinburgh both have. The first quarter, they're kind of feeling each other out. It's a little up and down game. Maddie did a nice job last time defensively, getting a little poke away.
Lady Senators in a little man-to-man defense as well to start things out. 3 ball across the way. It will not go for the Lady Pack, and Ryan Russell will bring it quickly into the front court, leading the secondary break. They give it up to Carter. Her 3's good to go. And we've got an injury timeout and someone in a lot of pain on the floor as Carter crushes one from the cheap seats. It's a quick 5-0 lead, and we may have either an ankle or a knee situation here. And that looks like Addie Simpson that's down for the Lady Pack, and if so, that's a major blow to this Lady Pack team, because she is the engine that makes this thing run for the Lady
As
Pack.
soon as she went down, it was, I mean, just grimaced, and she's fighting tears. So, I mean, usually athletes know if it's going to be, it's serious when it happens. And
That's going to send Coach Bausman around the perimeter and up to the training room, and didn't really see what happened. I was watching as they crossed in transition, and just as I had panned back across, she went down. So
I don't know if she hit knees with somebody, but sometimes as you're backpedaling like that and you set up for your defense, you can kind of hyperextend your knee, or it can just kind of buckle on you. That's what I'm wondering. Because usually, obviously she's a really good athlete. You know what I meant when I said, athletes know when it's serious.
Sure.
It's,
Sure.
But she's getting
and
up.
She's back up, and maybe more of a scare than anything, because when that leg buckles and that knee gives, your first thought's always that ACL, and knowing that she's had a teammate that's just coming back from that. We'll
But then
see.
she also was looking at her, looks like she might have taken an elbow or a shoulder as she was falling to the face, to the eye, because one of her contacts popped
And
out
she
as
may
well.
have had someone step on her foot as well. That may have been part of the problem, but
Yeah.
we'll reset and we'll have a quick substitution here as we'll see Brooke Elliott. This is the 5'6" sophomore coming off of an ACL surgery. She just come back at some point last month for Coach Broughton's group. She will check in for her first minutes of the night. 5-0 early. Lady Senators in firm control through the first minute 5 of this one, courtesy of 1 of 2 shooting on the inside by Cassidy Keltner, and that monster 3 by Carter on the break before the stoppage of play. Lady Wolfpack go right back at it. Callie Jo Sturgeon with it out front, gives it off now to Hammond. High post feed, nice take underneath, and it's the freshman Treasure Nicholson's got her first 2 of the night. It's 5-2. Minute and a half gone by, and we'll have our first foul of the evening, and this will be on the Lady Pack as well, as Brett Decker's got the call. And this one will go against Brooke Elliott, her first. By the way,
Senators.
Coach Ashley Sullivan's Lady JV squad fell tonight here to the Lady Pack, 43-29.
That's 3 straight possessions, 3 out of the 4, I guess, because we just hit a 3-pointer, that they've gone right into Cass Keltner. So I think they're making a concerted effort, like he said in pregame, let's work this thing inside out.
Kaylee Grizzle, 5'4" senior, will check in. And underneath, they get it right into Maddie at point-blank range. She's not able to connect. Lady Senators hustle back on D. Grizzle will bring it up. They'll try to feed in the post to Nicholson. It's stolen away. Turnover number 2. That's still for Keltner. They feed ahead to Maddie. She finishes off the glass for her first 2 of the night. Just like that, Coach, it's a 7-0 run to start things here for West Washington.
Yeah, they're starting with defense. They're getting poke-aways. They're playing really hard, really aggressive. And another one, Ryan Russell down on the court with a tie-up.
Russell to the floor with Brenna Hammond, the 5'6" senior, and on the jump ball, it'll be alternating possession to the Lady Wolfpack at the 5:59 mark of this opening period of play. Lady Senators have raced out to a 7-2 advantage. Turnover for the Lady Pack on the inbounds attempt, and Coach Broughton's seen enough with 5:59 to go. He'll burn a 30-second timeout, kind of get his troops organized defensively here. But Coach, just the start we were talking about in a game like this, you want to have the foot on the throat early, and just that mentality of going for the jugular or shark smelling blood in the water, whatever kind of cliche, saying you want to give to this situation. Lady Senators know how important and how critical this game is with Paoli coming to town next week.
Absolutely, and then one of the focus, or one of the phrases that Coach used was the focus. He wanted to see how focused we were, and it's not just about your shooting focus. Are you focused enough to be locked in defensively? Are you focused enough not to have silly turnovers? And so far in the first couple minutes, it looks like this Senator club is very focused. And going back to your point, yeah, this is not only for the PLAC, but we're getting towards sectional time, and you want to start feeling good about yourself, and we've gone 2 wins and a loss, 2 wins and a loss. Well, if you play that first week of the first game of the sectional, you need to win 3 in a row. So you need to start getting used to winning 3 in a row.
And that's what they're trying to do here tonight. They're trying to string 3 in a row together as the Lady Senators give it up for the first time on the night. Quickly to the other end, Brenna Hammond has her shot partially blocked. Rebound to Nicholson, and as she fell back, she may have hit her head a little bit. She grabs the back of her head to check, make sure the braids are still intact. This will be a Lady Senator foul number 1 on the night. And for the Lady Senators, that'll go against Hattie Griffiths, the 5'5" junior. And to the free throw line is Treasure Nicholson, again averaging 8 points and 8 rebounds per contest. And she soaks the first one with ease, so give her 3 on the night, accounting for all of Crawford's offense thus far.
You know, that's a second chance point. That was something Coach Russell talked about before the game, that we can't give them a bunch of second chance points.
And there's another offensive rebound out to Kendra Covell on the dribble drive. Hammond tries to throw it in the post. Cass Keltner with another steal. Turnover number 4 for the Lady Pack. Going coast to coast. Keltner takes contact, misses everything. Crawford wanted a player control, didn't get it. Dribbling out of trouble is Giselle, and she'll bring it safely into the front court. She'll fire it now cross court in the corner, and we'll have a Senator foul across the way as Kendra Covell tried to go dribble drive against Carter. Chelsea Carter will pick up her first, team foul number 2, and the Lady Pack to inbound underneath their own basket. They'll look at a box set. Nicholson on the ball side block being picked up by Cass Keltner. She'll slide out to the corner, take the inbounds pass, and swing it out now to Sturgeon. Sturgeon goes right back to Covell in the corner, and now going to take a hard elbow, and that's a good way of taking a technical as well, which can happen, or a flagrant, flinging that elbow out.
Chelsea
I
did
may
a
have
nice
been
job.
whistled for that, maybe more than once in my career, so I know all too well how that goes. But Schaefer with the call, and that'll be a player control and their 5th turnover of the night as Covell picks up her first, team foul number 2.
Yeah, Chelsea did a nice job using the quick hands. It was really frustrating her, and she got the player control.
On the dribble drive now to the other end, we'll have a little hand check foul on the Lady
Grizzle.
Pack. And I believe they are going to get Grizzle for this one. Nope, check that. They're going to get Brenna Hammond, her first. Lady Senators with the spread look on the inbounds pass. They'll give it up to Bausman just inside the elbow. Pull-up jumper won't rattle home. 2 of them in the paint she's had good looks at. Can't get them to go down, and we'll have a jump ball, and this will stay with the Lady Senators with 4:42 to go, and this Wolfpack crowd behind us very antsy as they were in the JV win.
Right, and Maddie's just getting she's getting caught in between whether to use the backboard or not. She's about 7 or 8 foot back. She needs to maybe use the board the next time.
Russell, 3, left side, off the mark, no good.
There you go.
Maddie, nice offensive rebound, kicks out. Griffiths into the paint, back to Carter, top of the key. No good, short side of the rim. Maddie will throw one up after she takes contact, and we'll have foul number 4 on the night for the Lady Pack, as now Crawford decides to give up some second chance opportunities to the Lady
Maddie,
Senators.
just talking about maybe she should use the board a little bit, but boy, she came back and she really crashed the board on that possession to 2 offensive rebounds. So now we'll see what Coach was talking about. Is it going to be like the other night where we shot under 50% from the line, or 80% like we did on Monday?
Grizzle picks up the first of the night for her. Team foul number 4. Brenna Hammond checks out.
Maddie hit
And
the first.
Maddie hit the first. Second one is on the way, good as well. So Maddie's got 4 already on the night. Senators off to a good start at the line, 2 for 2.
Throwing the pressure at him. Ryan got a deflection.
Substitution during the dead ball. Bailey Gilmore, 5'4" and a junior, checks in for the Lady Pack. So Coach Broughton already going 8 deep into his rotation here in this first quarter alone as we near the halfway point of the period. 9-3, Lady Senators in front, kick ball. Chelsea Carter shows off the soccer skills as she kicks it out of bounds. Brian Patton will have the Lady Pack reset. Callie Jo Sturgeon will check out of the ball game, and they'll inject Addie Simpson back in, the 5'7" junior that's their leading scorer and kind of does everything for this Lady Wolfpack team. High screen out top. Gilmore will take it off the screen from Simpson, try to cross over. 5 counts on, it's still on. And able to break the count, the Lady Pack will earn another foul, as this will be number 3. And the foul's going to be on Hattie Griffiths. So, Coach, 3 fouls. Hattie's got 2 of them. That doesn't bode well, as we'll see Taylor Fouch check in, the 5'6" sophomore.
Taylor's got to come in, play sound, play solid, and be all right. I thought there was a 5-second count there. That was just, then she ended up getting the foul called on her, so it was a double whammy for Hattie.
Hattie comes out as well on the exchange. And Treasure Nicholson gets another one in the paint. She's got all 5 for the Lady Pack. They lead it 9-5. Cora Miller checked in for Maddie. Nice offensive rebound off the miss for Carter, and now it'll be Cassidy Keltner to the free throw line. Maddie checks out, gets some tape from her father. Looks like she may have busted or split a nail or
yeah, on the play where Hattie got called for the foul, she came running over, looked like she got a cut.
They've got her taped up. I'm sure she'll check back in just a few moments. Keltner to the free throw line on the year, 38 of 73 for just 52%, but that one falls in softly off the back iron. Give her 3, and it's now 10-5. Lady Senators have led the whole way thus far in the first quarter. As Keltner will shoot her second. That one a little long. Rebound fought for. And it's Simpson that comes out with it. She'll lead the break. Goes coast to coast. Gets her first basket of the night on the strong take. And it's 10-7. Quickly to the other end. Ryan Russell, little runner, won't go. Right side. Keltner, offensive rebound. Tries to save it in. It goes into the hands of Grizzle, who gives it up to Simpson. And to the other end, an and one opportunity for the Lady Pack as Covell able to finish for her first points of the night. And the Lady Pack on a nice little 4-0 spurt. And they've got an opportunity here to tie it. If Covell can finish the old-fashioned three-point play, we'll have a timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout for Coach Darren Russell with 3:12 to go in the opening period after the Lady Senators jump out to the 7-0 lead. It is now a 9-3 run for the Lady Pack, looking to make it a 10-3 run if they can finish the old-fashioned three-point play. And just like we saw a couple of times over the weekend, Coach Smith animated with the boys in a 30-second timeout. Coach Darren Russell much the same with his girls right now.
Well, that's three straight times where we haven't stopped the ball. We let them go basically coast to coast. So, I mean, somebody at some point's got to stop the ball, or it's just going to be layup lines.
We will see Maddie check in after this free throw or the next dead ball, whichever occurs. If she makes, we'll see Maddie check in. Kendra Covell to the line, averaging nearly 10 a game. Good balance for this Lady Wolfpack roster. As far as scoring distribution, Covell to the line, knocks it down. And we have our first tie since it was all zeros at 10 apiece. Maddie will check in. Chelsea Carter checks out, so it's Fouch, Cora Miller, Ryan Russell, Maddie, and Cass out there right now, as Maddie will have to wait to check in. They're going to send her back to the scorer's bench, and it's going to be some 1-2, 1-1 full court pressure for Coach Broughton. Time has come off the clock. She checked in after the horn. They're going to clarify that with the scorer's bench. I thought after the made free throw, she should be able to check in. Okay. So after the horn had blew and Keltner nearly steps over the baseline, so Maddie will get the next dead ball opportunity. They feed in the front court. Miller gets it. She's bottled up on the wing. They kick out to Fouch. Cross court now to Carter, right side. She'll look high post to Cass. Can't get anything. Lady Senators will go into their motion set. They try to feed down low, and on the feed inside, Brian Patton will say, hey, can't use that hip and that knee to bump the post off the block.
It's a nice play by Nicholson to get a hand on it. Got a deflection, but fortunately for us, Cass is so athletic, and she can sky. She got up and corralled that one and ended up getting the foul called on Crawford. We got to stay aggressive, though. We've been kind of passive the last couple of times.
So Kylie Smith off the bench picks up her second personal team foul, number 6, and to the other end. After the Lady Senators have a bad possession, it's going to result in another Lady Senator foul. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back for this Lady Senator team. And Nicholson goes back to the free throw line. That's team foul number 5 whistled against West Washington, and that'll be the first of the night for the senior Cora Miller. First free throw is up and good for Nicholson. That breaks our tie and gives Crawford their first lead of the night at 11-10. Substitutions, as Kylie Smith will check out with those 2 personals. Callie Jo Sturgeon back into the ball game for the Lady Pack. Second one on the way. That one rattles in and out, no good. Cass pulls down the defensive rebound to Maddie. She'll bring it across, keeps her hand on top of the ball. It is not a carry, contrary to the belief of the Crawford County faithful behind us, who's about to lose their lids. Maybe they should consult a rule book first. 2:39 to play in the first. And another substitution, Brenna Hammond in. And it'll be Covell that'll have a seat. That'll be team foul number 7 already against the Lady Pack, and that'll be Covell's second. So she's got 2. Kylie Smith's got 2 off the bench. And to the line, Ryan Russell, our best free throw shooter, or one of our best, at 76%. She's 51 of 67 on the year as she cashes in on her first.
Yeah, it's been, 2.5 minutes, 2:40 to go in the first, and there's already been 12 calls, 12 whistles. I mean, I don't know, and I don't think it's just been a physical ball game.
And we're just 2.5 minutes away from the end of the first quarter, not the first half, as Russell knocks them both down. It seems like a long first quarter, though,
right,
as the Lady
with
Senators,
the 12 whistles.
They reclaim the lead at 12-11. Their second lead of the night. Grizzle has it out front. Gives it up on the wing. Back to Grizzle. She'll get it back and fire a 3. Kaylee Grizzle with her first points of the night. It's 14-12. Lady Pack back in front. Russell, 3. Bang! Got it to go. Deep 3 for Ryan. Her first field goal of the night. Make it now a 15-14 game. Back and forth we go. Just what we expected. 2 powerhouses going at it. Keltner tried to poke it away from Nicholson in the post. Did for a moment. Lady Pack able to save it. Dribble drive for Hammond. Kicks out. Grizzle. 3 again. Got it. Grizzle with back-to-back threes. An unsung hero in the first quarter of play for Coach Broughton and the Lady Pack as they take the lead back 17-15.
Ryan being nice and aggressive, trying to answer, went baseline, got the blocking call. It was close. I mean, they were wanting to charge, but I think she beat her to the spot.
We'll have a substitution here as Bailey Roll will check in, a 5'4" senior at 2.5 points per game. Keltner gets her first break. This is already the second whistle against Kaylee Grizzle. Lucky for us because she's just now getting the hot hand with back-to-back threes. So 8 personals for the Lady Pack, 5 for the Lady Senators. 13 fouls, and we still got a minute 40 to play in the first quarter, not first half, as the Lady Senators keep chipping away here. Russell hits the first. She's now 3 for 3 on the night.
Yeah.
Give her 6 points. The next one will tie us up for the 3rd time.
The last couple times defensively, we've been kind of a box and one almost situation with Simpson. Maddie's been face guarding Simpson where she's on, but we've lost Grizzle.
3rd tie of the night at 17 as Russell knocks them both down back into the front court. Lady Wolfpack wasting no time. Sturgeon out top with Elliott. They kick it cross court. 3 ball will not go. Rebound off to Nicholson. They'll swing it back on the perimeter now to Elliott as she'll swing it cross court now to Hammond. Hammond dribble drive against Fouch. Lost the handle. Russell to the floor to try to poke it away. In the post, nice feed. Addie Simpson maybe got a foul, but did not get whistled. It looked like she took
Yeah, we
contact.
might have got her on the elbow
Nice
there.
feed underneath from Russell as she connects with Fouch. Nice cross post feed to the low block, and Fouch gets fouled on her way up. This will be 9 fouls already in the first quarter against the Lady Pack, as this one will go against Nicholson, her first. 65 seconds to go in the opening act, and it has been a thriller thus far, setting on a 17-all tie. Fouch can't break it with the first free throw. 0 for 1, just our second miss of the night. This will be free throw number 10 already for the Lady Senators. Lady Wolfpack has shot 5 in this opening quarter, and Fouch hits the second, so she'll break the tie. Give the Lady Senators their 4th lead of the night at 18-17 as we dip now under a minute to play. First quarter action, Misty Jones alongside of Mark Gibson. Craig Akers running the live stream video feed as the Lady Wolfpack and Lady Senators battle for bragging rights in the PLAC as we give up another one inside to Simpson. Lady Pack back out in front, 19-18, shot off the mark, no good for West Washington. Simpson in control. She'll lead the break. 4-on-4. We're not waiting for the trailer. She'll stop and pop from inside the elbow. She's got 6. And the Lady Pack with their largest lead of 3 at 21-18.
Yeah, Simpson, 4 straight points. Maddie, she got by Maddie and nobody was there to help. And then she just went coast to coast with that one.
Lady Senators may be trying to hold for 1. Maddie has it out front, kicks it cross court to Russell. In the post, they go to Roll. Nice crab dribble. She gathers it in, misses the shot, missed the second one. Rebound fought for, and going to the deck, it was Addie Simpson, and she'll be whistled for being on the line as she grabbed the ball. Turnover number 6. Lady Senators with a box set. 5 seconds to go. Maddie's got to recognize time. Back to Russell. She'll try to shoot it, and she'll...
Whoa, wait a minute. That had to be tipped.
Well, you would think so at that awkward angle.
There's no way that was physically impossible.
And now the officials will talk about it. I thought it was a shot, and then I thought, well, maybe it was a pass she was trying to feed on the block because she was covered up. Law of trajectory says, yeah, it was last touched. It'll stay with the Lady Senators. 0.5, we can get a shot off, but it's got to be a Derek Fisher-like release. Cassidy Keltner checks into the ball game. She'll get Cora Miller. Give her a breather. Cora working her way back into a full frame of mind here after coming back from mono as the Lady Senators can't get a shot off. And a wild and wacky first quarter high-scoring affair will come to a close. The Lady Wolfpack lead at 21-18 after the first stop. You're listening to Lady Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. Back with the second quarter of action right after this.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
To open things up here in the second quarter of play, Crawford starts with the basketballs. Nicholson fakes the handoff, goes inside on Keltner, and she's got her third field goal of the night. A nice start for her. 23-18, largest lead of the night for the Lady Pack. And it'll be a turnover, a travel for the Lady Senators. Their third turnover. Crawford committing 6 giveaways in that first period where we saw 7 lead changes, Coach, and 3 ties.
Yeah, it's in 23-18 right now, 7:36. You can't let them go on this extended run. We got to be able to get some stops and put some points together, because if you give Crawford extended runs, they're too good. We may not be able to get back into it.
Double dribble whistled against Kaylee Jo Sturgeon, the 5'6" junior. Turnover number 7 for the Lady Pack as the Lady Senators open up the quarter with a little 2-3 condensed zone to try to close down the lane a little bit and compress things for Nicholson and Simpson.
Yeah, Simpson and Nicholson have been getting to the rim anytime they wanted. We got to do something to stop that.
Bousman takes it out front, pump fake. She'll shoot the little runner from the free throw line. It won't go. Rebound pulled down by Nicholson. The freshman will bring it herself. She'll split 2 defenders, misses the layup, and Maddie with a strong rebound kicks out to Keltner. She'll try to bring it one-on-one, and she'll lose the handle. Turnover number 4 for the Lady Senators as the pace continues to quicken. Deep 3, left side, off the mark, no good for Sturgeon. Rebound fought forward, and this will be team foul number 10. Rebounding foul will be called against the Lady Pack, and we'll walk to the other end for the double bonus as Nicholson picks up her second. So that is now Kylie Smith and Grizzle off the bench who hit those 2 big threes in Crawford's run, and now Nicholson with 2 as well.
Yeah, fouls starting to mount up a little bit, and that's hard to believe. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, not half quarter, that we're already in the double bonus.
Taylor Fouch back to the line, 1 of 2. In that first quarter of play, hits that one. Taylor on the year, 19 of 33, entering tonight for just 58%. Number 30 checks out of the ball game. That is Nicholson with her 2 personals, and back into the lineups. Kylie Smith, he'll roll the dice with her. Will Coach Broughton, and she's got 2 personals as well. Fouch's second one on the way. Gonna let it fly, and that one will take a couple of pops off the rim and fall through. She's 3 for 4 on the night. First points of the quarter for the Lady Senators. They've cut it to 3 at 23-20.
Yeah, you got to find Simpson. With this lineup, you know Simpson's going to be one of the main scorers.
Nice looking baseline jumper, right side, wouldn't go for Sturgeon. Nice save, inbounds. Credit's gonna go to the Lady Packs. Autumn Shiger, a 5'5" freshman, into the ball game for her first minutes, as Coach Broughton has now went 10 deep into his rotation in this first half with a lot of fouls. Nice block from behind for Keltner. Rebound comes out to Fouch, and she'll throw it right back into the arms of the Wolfpack. Lady Pack on the aggressive look. Simpson couldn't drill the three from downtown, and now after a strong rebound by Cora Miller, we'll have a jump ball. And this will go to the Lady Senators with 6:09 to go before the halftime break. 23-20, Lady Pack out in front of the Lady Senators as Maddie will bring it up now and feed it into the front court to Fouch. To the free throw line, Keltner's jumper from 16 feet straight away won't go. Lady Senators offer the trap, and that forces a turnover as Fouch gets the steal. Back to Bausman, to Russell, pump fake, left side, skips it back to Fouch. Right side, dribble drive, trying to feed to Miller, who is on the break, left side of the lane. Ball poked away. It'll stay with West Washington, 5:46 to go. Universal spread look for Lady Senators. They'll try to roll somebody back to the basket as they get it in to Miller. Turnaround jumper, and it will not go. Rattled around for a while on that rim, but would not drop for Cassidy Keltner. And the Lady Senators back at it defensively. Simpson drives, kicks, three. On the way is good for the Lady Pack and Callie Jo Sturgeon as she picks up her first field goal of the night, make it 26-20. Largest lead of the game for the Lady Wolfpack of 6. Lady Senators have led by as many as 7 early when they got out to the 7-0 spurt. Shot missed underneath. Lady Pack come out with the rebound, and it'll be a 3-on-2 break for the Lady Pack. To the other end, nice feed. Sturgeon, pump fake, goes off glass. She's got 5 straight, and it is a 28-20 lead. The Lady Senators in a bit of trouble here early on in the second quarter of play. 5:05 to go. Coach Russell burns a full timeout, and we'll take one as well. We'll be back right after this.
Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
A 7-2 run to start the second quarter for the Lady Wolfpack, give them their largest advantage at 28-20, and prompts a very fiery timeout by Coach Russell, lighting into his girls about their effort at both ends.
The effort, and you got to make shots. I think we're now 2 of 15 down around the rim. I mean, you got to put the ball in the basket.
Bausman with it out top, skips it back now to Fouch. Out there with Roll, Keltner, and Russell. Maddie controls out top, back to Fouch. She thought about 3, gives it back to Maddie. Pump fake. Game two-man pitch and catch. Maddie gets it back, sends it to Roll. Back to Fouch.
Playing on one side of the court way too much. We need to reverse.
Not
make
making
his
that
own work.
zone shift. And they try to force inside. Keltner able to poke it back out to Maddie on the save. Maddie will take a deep 3. Bang! Got it to go. Ice cold veins as Maddie's able to rip down the 3, but to the other end, a nice answer as Sturgeon now has 8 straight for the Lady Pack. And it'll be a poke away, but the Lady Pack, how about this? Nice start, a 10-5 run here to start the period. It is 31-23, back to an 8-point advantage. Lady Senators trying to dig themselves out of the deficit here. Nice cross-court pass as Fouch drops the dime to Keltner underneath. And Cass Keltner now has 9 on the night, her first points of the period. 31-25. Grizzle back into the ball game. Skips it over now to Hammond. Short corner to Simpson. Right back out to Hammond. Her 3 off the mark. Rebound fought for. Fouch has it. She'll lead the break and slow it up as she throws it cross court to no one. Roll and Bousman both there. Throws it in between them and it sails out of bounds for the Lady Senators. 6th turnover now of the half. Substitution as we will see Autumn Scheiger check back into the ball game and give Sturgeon a well-deserved breather. The hot hand with 8.
I'll tell you what, 31-25 with 3.5 to go. What did you say they averaged? 49? What it was, 40?
They only averaged 46.9.
So I mean, we you know, they're lighting it up, or we're playing a little bit lax defensively, either or a combination of both.
3-man stack, left side, a little ISO play. Grizzle tries to feed it cross court, gets it to Hammond. Now on the baseline to Smith. Smith goes high post as she kicks back out now to Hammond on the dribble drive. Cut off as the Lady Senators stick with the man-to-man on this possession. They try to go right back to Simpson on the pump fake. She works against Keltner and Bousman. Kick out. Grizzle, 3 off the mark, won't go. Maddie with a strong rebound over Simpson. Lady Senators on the break, no numbers. Russell will lose the handle, have it stripped away. Turnover number 5 of the period already. 2:50 and counting before halftime. 31-25, Lady Senators trail it by 6. And on the dribble drive kick out, Grizzle swings it around. 3 on the way for Simpson, won't go. Weak side rebound off to Smith as she was working against Keltner. And another substitution as the hot hand. Sturgeon will come back in. She's got 8 already in the quarter, and Grizzle will come out as she spelled her for just a moment. Grizzle trying to play smart with those 2 personals.
Yeah, we got to make sure we get a stop. They're getting a couple up there. Bailey with a little poke away.
Nice steal attempt. Lady Pack will keep it. Dribble drive by Hammond, cut off by Fouch. She pokes it away. Turnover number 9.
But then she turned it right back over.
Lady Senators give it back for their 8th turnover of the half. Hammond, short corner, back out top now to Scheiger as she gives it up to Sturgeon. She says, let's get a good one here in this box set. Lady Senators will match up. Look for a high post screen and they'll try to drop to the block. It'll be Simpson. They can't find her. They'll kick back out instead to Scheiger. She kicks out top now to Smith. And a dribble drive for Sturgeon. That shot partially blocked, and Maddie comes out of there with the rebound. In the front court, Fouch, nowhere to go, skips it over to Bousman. 3 ball on the way. That one in and out, no good. Simpson with the rebound. Again, she leads the break. 3-on-3, splits 2 defenders again. Leaves it off the edge of the rim, and the Lady Senators will take off running once more as Russell's picked up at the timeline by Simpson, and Maddie will slow it up to Keltner. She turns, tried to feed to Roll. Ball fought for. Maddie comes out of there with it, misses everything on the baseline jumper, and then Fouch will give up the personal on the weak side rebound attempt. That's team foul number 6. And for Taylor Fouch, that's her first one of the night. Minute 24 to go before the halftime break. Timeout on the floor. And it is a Lady Wolfpack timeout. Their second 30-second timeout of the night. Again, with a minute 24 to go. While we have a moment, we'll catch our breath. We'll let you pause 10 seconds for station identification.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Minute 24 to go. Lady Senators trail at 31-25 on the game reset thus far. Lady Senators already into the double bonus off of 10 personals whistled against the Lady Pack. The good news for Coach Broughton's crew, though, they committed 9 of those 10 in the first quarter. A much more cleanly played ball game, more active hands and smart hands for them on the defensive end. Meanwhile, the Lady Senators have given up 6 personals. Next one will put the Lady Pack in the bonus, but again, just under a half minute to play.
Yeah, a couple of the fouls with some, ill-timed, silly turnovers, and we're the one, in the first quarter, I thought we played very poised. Second quarter, I think we played a little bit with the finger on the panic button a little bit.
Go into a little set and a half court for the Lady Pack. Scheiger with it, dribbles, into the paint, kicks it cross court. Simpson's shot wouldn't go from that left baseline, and Russell comes out there with it. She'll be fouled by Simpson in the backcourt. That should be her first, team foul number 11. And Ryan Russell, again, the co-leader on this team in free throw percentage at 76%, along with senior Cora Miller. Will go back to the line where Ryan's 4 of 4 thus far with 61 seconds to play. 31-25, Lady Senators down 6, make it 5 as Russell cashes in on the first.
You'd sink the second, get a little stop, and maybe play for the last shot. Actually, 5-point deficit right now. We've played worse than that in the second
She
quarter.
knocks them both down, Coach. So 6 for 6, and as you said, if she gets, or her teammates and her get the stop, we could play for the last possession and possibly get back-to-backs as the arrow stands in our favor right now. Deep three, though, from the corner. Sturgeon with 3 from downtown. Her third triple of the quarter. She now has 11, and underneath, Miller has her shot blocked out of bounds with 40.2 on the clock as the Lady Senators get another cross-lane feed from high post to low block, opposite side of the floor. Spread look for the Lady Senators. They trail it 34-27. Bausman gets it on the kick out.
Plenty of time.
And a double dribble for Maddie. That'll be turnover number 7 of the quarter. 9.5.
Really need to stop now. Now, I mean, if we'd have scored there, that's fine. A 5-point deficit at halftime, there's nothing wrong with it. But now they've get the back-to-back like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Sturgeon came in averaging 2 points a game, right? If I'm correct. And
yeah.
She is just lighting it up. 11.
Big time 3-point threat. Simpson may be content to try to dribble some clock out here and try to hold for one. 34-27. Maddie will come out and apply pressure. Lady Senators with the man-to-man. Russell out there with Maddie. Bailey roll. Taylor Fouch. And Cora Miller as Fouch gets the steal. Ball poked away. Maddie has it. Gives it to Bailey roll to Russell. Couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound fought for. It comes out to the hands of Shiger. Now to Smith. She'll try to bank it off the backboard, and that's the way the first half will end as the Lady Senators have some work to do here at the half. They'll go back to the drawing board as they trail at 34-27 at the break. Coach Gibson and I will step aside, and when we come back, we'll begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Lady Senator halftime report. Will run down all the scoring and team statistics from this first 16 minutes of play. The Lady Senators again trail it by 7 on the scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Senator basketball on Salem's 1220. Back with our halftime report right after this.
Police, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Lady Senator halftime report. Lady Senators trail at 34-27 here at the break. The Lady Wolfpack with some hot shooting from downtown, as Coach will talk about in the team statistics in just a moment. Callie Jo Sturgeon able to lead the way with 11 points for Crawford County here at the half, operating with that 7-point lead. All 11 of hers coming in that second quarter, including 3 makes from downtown. 6 for Addie Simpson, the team's leading scorer. She's been held in check. She did not score at all, in fact, in that second quarter of play. Then Brenna Hammond started, did not score. Kendra Covell chips in 3, all in the first quarter of play. And Treasure Nicholson, a nice half for her with 8 points, including 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Autumn Shiger, Kylie Smith, Brooke Elliott, Kaylee Grizzle, and Bailey Gilmore all play in the 10-lady rotation for Coach Chris Broughton in the first 16 minutes of play. Grizzle chips into 2 threes from downtown in the first quarter for her 6th. None of the other 4 who played off the bench were able to tally. In the first half, the Lady Wolfpack give it away 10 times overall. 6 of those 10 giveaways come in the first quarter of action. In the first quarter, Lady Wolfpack shot 3 of 5 from the charity stripe, and that's what they finished the half with for just 60% thus far on the night. Meanwhile, for the Lady Senators, a little bit better for them as far as their balance and their free throw shooting. Hattie Griffiths battled some early foul woes, and she did not score in that first half. Ryan Russell chipped in 9, including 6 of 6 from the free throw line. 3 for Chelsea Carter. Maddie Bausman chipped in 7. She went 2 of 2 from the free throw line as well. Cassidy Keltner with 5 points in the first half, including 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And off the bench, we saw Cora Miller, Taylor Fouch, and Bailey Roll in that 8-player rotation for Coach Darren Russell. As expected, Miller and Roll went scoreless in their first half minutes. Taylor Fouch was able to go 3 of 4 as the Lady Senators gave it away 9 times in that first half. And Coach, the crazy part was, of those 9 giveaways, 7 of the 9 were in that second quarter.
Yeah, it was second quarter. That's why I even mentioned it towards the end there, with a couple minutes to go. I thought we played a little bit of just with the panic button a little bit. We got down by 3, 5 when, most of the game we were up 3-5. I think we kind of panicked a little bit. But, it sounds like it was pretty even there. You were talking about shooting, and I think it comes right down to shooting. Rebounding-wise, both teams 17 rebounds. Maddie's led us in rebounding with 6. Simpson has 7 for them. So, very even there. Assists, even. Everything's even except for shooting. Senators, 3 of 18 from inside the arc. That's a blistering 17%. And 3 of 7 from behind the arc for 43, for a total of 24%. While on the other hand, Crawford County's 8 of 16 inside the arc. That's 50%. 5 of 11 overall from behind the arc for 46. So they shot 48% to the Senators' 24. I don't think you need to go any deeper than that into the stats, because everything else is, like I said, very even. But 48% for them, 24% for the Senators. I think that's the tail of the tape.
But the 1+ getting into the double bonus early. Lady Senators able to cash in at the charity stripe.
Absolutely. It could have been worse.
And it was one of our keys to victory. Their shooting from the free throw line's been spotty at best for the most part over their last few ball games. And tonight in the first half, 12 of 14, 86%. I know Coach Russell will be happy with that here at the halftime break. First quarter score, 21-18. Lady Pack out in front of the Lady Senators after a wild first quarter that witnessed 7 lead changes and 3 ties. In that second quarter, it's all Lady Pack again as they outscore West Washington 13-9, and that takes us to the 34-27 advantage here at the halftime break. We'll step aside and we'll come back with more of our halftime right after this.
With the helpful hardware, folks. We have 5 kids, and somehow their hands and feet are always on the wall. So I went to Molly at Ace. I told Sharon, when it comes to durable paint, you can't do better than Valspar Optimus. Ace is the place that knows a lot about paint, but not why kids drag their hands on walls when they walk.
Before your next project,
Talk to your local paint experts, Eva Marie and Erica at Ace Hardware of Salem, about our top-rated interior and exterior paints.
Both teams have made their way back out to the Ron Smith court for their second half warm-up period, as the Lady Pack again lead at 34-27 here at the break. And again, we saw 7 lead changes all in that first quarter of play before Crawford seized some control there late in the waning seconds of that first quarter and did not relinquish the lead again. And we've had 3 ties at 10, 11, and at 17. But Coach, a good pace. Lady Senators used to playing at a very fast pace, so I'm not sure that that's necessarily the problem. It's just that there's been some possessions, especially in transition, where we've been a little sloppier than usual.
Yeah, and we talked about it in it. I think that we had 3 steals that second quarter where we turned right around and gave it up to them. So, I mean, you're talking about 3 possessions, 6 points. It's basically a 1-point game if we score on those. Where we had, and on 2 of them, I know we had a lady out front that, one of the, if we could have found her, we had an easy layup. So, no, a 7-point lead. That's nothing big. I mean, but we have to play well. We have to keep hitting our free throws. Got to cut out the turnovers, and we have to play with some pressure too.
We'll step aside. We'll take our final break of the halftime report, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. We'll come back with third quarter action right after this.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
To begin the second half of play, it will be Lady Wolfpack basketball out of the halftime break. A shout out to Tim Woods, who shot our first Harrison hoop shoot, and Tim able to drill it off the backboard for the half court make, and that cashes him in for $550 on the night. So we know where we're going if we need some cash for a little post-game meal, Coach.
That's right. Tim's behind. It was right off the glass, and in.
With the smooch.
With the smooch. That was nice. Yeah, $550. That's a nice little nest egg for the weekend coming up.
It's a nice post-Christmas expense, pre-tax bonus. It's just that time of year.
Probably going on the credit cards.
As the Lady Pack turn it over out of the locker room, their first of the half, of course, and 11th overall, as Cass Keltner gets the nice mid-range jumper. She's got 7, and the lead cut to 5 at 34-29 out of the locker room. 3 ball off the mark, will not go for the Lady Pack. That shot off the mark for Covell into the other end. They try to feed Maddie in transition, and she fumbles it away out of bounds for turnover number 10 on the night for the Lady Senators.
Boy, you cannot just give those possessions away down 5.
Maddie will settle back into her defensive stance, and she will pick up the spark plug for the Lady Pack. Addie Simpson, the team's leading scorer, as they'll keep firing from downtown.
On fire.
Sturgeon's 4th triple of the night, 37-29, back to an 8-point game. Nice little sky hook in the paint for Russell, won't go. And then Carter on the poke away. That will keep the Wolfpack at bay for the moment, as the Lady Senators will pick up in the full court.
I think somebody's got to find Sturgeon, because she is absolutely killing us, absolutely putting a knife in us.
I would think that she was probably a number that went right on the old dry erase board in the locker room, while Coach Russell may have been peeling some paint off the wall. 6:42 and counting third quarter, cross
Nice play by Chelsea, but then we didn't grab it. Again, Get the turnover, turn it right back over.
Covell somehow saves it, drives it baseline. She's got 5, and it's the largest lead of the night for the Lady Pack. First double-digit lead at 39-29. To the other end, Carter misses, gets her own rebound, and puts it back up and in. 39-31. Intensity picks up from the crowd as well as to the other end. Lady Senators thought they had a clean block, and it will be our first foul of the half. This one on West Washington, 6:15 to go as the foul goes on Keltner, and she picks up her first, so in good shape there. She's been doing a much better job of watching herself defensively and not getting into foul trouble.
Once she got inserted into the starting lineup, was that last week or maybe even the week before, she's done a really nice job of knowing that she has to stay on the court, especially when Cora was out sick.
Covell missed the first. Coach Russell talked about that in a conversation we had earlier in the week. The fact that Cassidy seems way more focused starting the game out there on the floor rather than coming off the bench as a reserve. As Covell missed both, and to the other end, Lady Senators missed yet another runner. And just like that, Covell, speedy with the dribble, she misses the layup. And it's back and forth basketball as Grizzle will check in. Next dead ball for the Lady Pack. Hattie had it poked away, 5:50 and counting third quarter. 8-point lead for Crawford, 39-31 the score. On the wing, Russell swings through, gives it high post. Bousman, 16-foot jumper, won't go. Rebound to Covell, or excuse me, to Simpson to Covell, and she'll be whistled for the travel. Turnover number 12.
There's been 3 straight possessions. 13 has leaked out all 3 times, and we're ahead of us. Luckily, she's missed 2 layups, and she turned the ball over there. So something's happening where she's beating us back down on leak outs or something.
And because of all that cherry picking, Coach, that's going to give her a break as she gets a little winded. So she'll take a quick breather. As Kaylee Grizzle, the 5'4" senior sharpshooter, checks in. She knocked down a couple of big triples in that first half and first quarter for the Lady Pack. And underneath we'll have another foul. And this one may go on Simpson, working against Maddie in the post, trying to bump her off the block. And this will be Crawford's first foul of the half. And for Simpson, that'll be her second. So she's got 2, Nicholson with 2, Covell with 2, and then Kylie Smith and Kaylee Grizzle with 2 apiece in reserve roles. Maddie's got it out top. 2 on the way. She was just over the line. That one straight away, dead eye shot. That's 9 now for Maddie. Simpson with the drive, splits 2 defenders.
Went for the blocks. Stay on your feet.
Simpson now with 8. Make it 41-33.
Got to stay on your feet there. Cut off the baseline.
Hattie's got it out top. She gets bumped as she gives it up now to Russell. High post feed to Bousman. She'll look for a cutter, back door. Instead, she goes with the lob over the top to Cassidy Keltner. And Cassidy now nearing double figures. She's got 9. Make it now 41-35. Back to a 6-point game. But to the other end, Simpson able to take another strong drive to the hoop right side. She makes it 43-35. Back and forth we go with the drive, going nowhere with it. Maddie Griffiths lost the handle. Turnover number 11, 2-on-1 break. Maddie in a bit of trouble. She stops the break, forces the miss, but the Lady Pack gets the offensive rebound and put back. And that's going to be 3 straight for Simpson as she gets the put back. It's 45-35. Papa Bousman not happy, and Coach Russell not happy either, as he'll burn a 30-second timeout. And we'll catch our breath with 10 seconds of station identification.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Lady Senators in a bad way, trying to recover defensively on the break, and you could tell it's taking a toll on girls like Cass and Maddie, who was holding the shorts during that 30-second timeout for Coach Russell.
Yeah, she's fighting a bronchial situation anyway, but so an up and down game. She was probably prefer a little bit slower tempo tonight until she got that cleared up. But I mean, we've made some silly turnovers. I mean, we can't get so deep down that we'd have nowhere to pass to. On defensive side, we haven't shut off the lane to the basket. We keep giving them layups, and we turn it over again. I mean, sometimes in these big games, our girls seem like, I mean, we got to play a little bit tougher and with a little bit more poise in these big games.
Unforced turnover as Griffiths tried to feed on the wing to Chelsea Carter. Turnover number 3 of the half. Now 12 in the ball game. Box set. They'll screen through. Bring a girl from the opposite block. Can't get the shooter to the corner, so Simpson will have to feed it back out top. 3:40 and counting, third quarter. Dribble drive take, left side. That'll draw a Lady Senator foul on the nice dribble drive by Brenna Hammond. Lady Senators will pick up the personal. That'll be their second. And Hattie will pick up her third of the night. 3:38 to go in the third, and back to the free throw line. The Lady Pack go. First attempts of the night upcoming for Brenna Hammond. First one is up and good. She's got her first point. She was the only starter that did not tally in the first half for Chris Broughton.
Make sure you check out here.
Brian Patton having a word with Nicholson and Bousman underneath. Second free throw is on the way, and it is good as well for Hammond. So she's got her first 2 of the night. 47-35, now the largest lead of the night for the Lady Wolfpack as Grizzle checks out of the ball game. And Kylie Smith will check back in.
3:30 to go. You got to start, if you're going to make the comeback down 12, you got to start right now. Good possessions, both offensively and defensively.
Underneath, Cass Keltner, she'll work it against Smith. She misses. Maddie goes back up, couldn't get the friendly bounce, but she will go to the free throw line as we'll have the Lady Wolfpack's second foul of the half. 3:21 to go, rather, and this foul will go against Nicholson, who picks up her third, so that's good news for the Lady Senators as far as taking away a post presence perhaps down the stretch. Maddie Long on that first free throw attempt on the year, 23 of 40 for just 58%. Maddie's had her share of woes from the stripe. That's her first miss, though, of the night. She was 2 for 2. Miller to check in. Substitution here as Maddie cashes in on the second one. And Maddie now with 10 on the night. She'll get a breather again, battling a little bit of a sinus infection, a little bit of bronchial drainage, and kind of some nasty junk going around right now. Allie Brown, as Coach mentioned, went home sick. So kids are passing around in the high school. I know several of the boys basketball players still out. Jake Strange has been out. Mikey Nichols out. So something we're just battling through at the high school level with these kids right now. Nice cross-court feed. Shot rims in and out, no good for Kylie Smith. Keltner with the long rebound, feeds ahead, and Fouch able to finish off the window for her first field goal of the night. She's got 5, and it's 47-38.
2.5 to go. I mean, that's a good start, a starting point, and they turned the ball over. So, I mean, this is a good starting point. You broke the double-digit barrier. Now you just got to keep playing.
But you can't keep going one step forward and 2 steps
Absolutely,
back as well. So
that's what I said. You have to have quality possessions on the offensive, and you have to play a little bit tougher and protect the rim on the defensive end.
Off the turnover, Coach Chris Broughton will take his first full time out of the night with 2:44 to go in the period. We'll step aside, take a break as well. You're listening to the Lady Senators take on the Lady Wolfpack on Salem's 1220.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Out of the timeout for Coach Chris Broughton and his Lady Wolfpack. They lead it 47-38. They've been in control ever since the waning moments of that that first quarter of action. When they seized that 19-18 lead, they have not relinquished it since, as we miss Carter on the backside wide open. Kick back across now to Fouch. High post left side, and she'll sail it over the head of Carter, and the Lady Senators have the wheels spinning off. That's now turnover number 13 on the night.
Yeah, it's one of those. She got caught. She wanted to hit Cass. Taylor wanted to hit Cass down on the block, but was a little bit too late to see it. So she looked back out, and it just sailed the pass.
2:20 and counting. Third quarter, still plenty of time for the Lady Senators to operate with, but we got to keep getting stops and at least something productive, whether it's a trip to the free throw line, whatever the case may be. Because you can't just keep giving up possessions and opportunities for this Lady Pack team to pour it on, as we have a kick ball and we'll have substitutions as Ryan Russell will check back in to the lineup, as well as Maddie Bausman, and we'll see Cass Keltner come out along with Hattie Griffiths. So Coach Russell will roll with Carter and Fouch in the backcourt along with Russell up front. It'll be Bausman and Miller. 2 minutes to play, third quarter, 47-38 your score. High screen out front. Nicholson gives it up to Simpson, who drives into the paint. Another layup. This one won't go. Rebound fought for. And on the jump ball with Fouch. Simpson there to fight for it, but it will be Lady Senator basketball on the alternating possession with 1:52 to play.
So again, 9 points down. We have another possession. Turned it over last time to get inch even a little bit closer and a little bit closer.
I'm going to say the magic mark, Coach, is going to be 4. If we can get it down to 4 points by the end of the quarter, we're in good shape, as Carter misses on the runner. And Fouch gives chase to Simpson, bumping her the whole way. And Simpson, pretty good ball player out there, a good ball handler, likes to attack the rim, and she's made the Lady Senators pay on a number of occasions on the dribble
strides.
drive.
I mean, she's not super fast, but though she has such long strides, it's tough to keep up with her.
Fouch picks up her second. Team foul number 3 of the half underneath. Simpson tries to feed it across on the block, and the ball was bobbled away. Grizzle will get it. She'll kick it into Hammond. Her shot won't go as Maddie clears it out. Lady Senators now no numbers, as Maddie has it poked away from behind, but we'll have a reach-in foul on Hammond. That'll be her second, team foul number 3 for the Lady Pack, and the Lady Senators will have it underneath their own basket with 1:18 to go. 47-38, Fouch to inbound. Throws it out way out top to Bausman, who beats Simpson off the dribble. On the pump fake, kicks it in the corner. Fouch's 3 won't go, and Simpson there for the board. She'll go behind the back, nifty dribble and nifty handles as she'll bring it up herself against Fouch.
Nice job by Ryan.
And Ryan strips it away. She throws it through the legs of Simpson to Carter. Off turnover number 14 for the Lady Pack. Carter now in trouble against the double. Gives it off to Ryan. 3 ball off the mark, no good. Fouch with the offensive rebound, and she'll be fouled now. And that one will either go against Hammond or Grizzle. Brian Patton with the call, and the foul will go against Grizzle, her third. Team foul number 4. 50.4 to go. Lady Senators break the 4 across stack as Bausman misses another one in the paint. Rebound fought for, last touched by Taylor Fouch.
Yeah, that's a good call.
But you said it earlier, Coach. Maddie's been caught in so many situations where she's had that mid-range jumper in the paint at 6 to 8 feet and at tough angles where she can't really use the glass.
Yeah, she hadn't been able to use the glass. She's like, do I take a couple more dribbles, try to get to the rim maybe? But you get so many hands slapping around in there that.
Hammond's 3 in and out, no good as Miller pulls down the board. But, Coach, that's a point where I would like to see our post start to develop more of that catch, rip, and take to the basket on a strong dribble drive, because we got bigs that can handle the ball as the Lady Senators commit another unforced turnover, their 14th of the game. Fouch with the turnover. She'll check out. Griffiths back in. But again, I'd like to see our post.
Dribble.
Yeah, catch, square, 2 dribbles, and that gets them to the rack.
Right. Instead of, like I said, and not just her, Cass a couple different times have shot an 8-footer that's just rimmed out. Instead of use your athleticism, get to the rim. That's what Crawford's been doing to make the lead. Nicholson and Simpson getting to the rim.
Maddie forces Simpson to go left, gives it up to Nicholson, now to Hammond. Right side, back out to Sturgeon with the hot hand. She can't bank into 3, 2 seconds, 1, and as time expires on the putback, Hammond able to come up with the loose ball. And Hammond's got her first field goal of the night, give her 4, and we'll roll into the 4th quarter with the Lady Senators trailing it by 11 at 49-38. We'll come back with 4th quarter Lady Senator basketball right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Fourth quarter opens up as the Lady Pack will have it to start the final period of regulation. High screen out front by Grizzle to free up Simpson, and she feeds down low to Nicholson, who has her first points since the early part of the second quarter. She's now got 10 in the ball game. 51-38. Lady Senators trailing it by 13. Now their largest deficit of the night. Underneath, Bousman tries to feed across to Keltner. She has it stripped away. Turnover number 6 of the half, and on the break, Lady Senators will give up the foul on the floor. It'll be inbounds pass upcoming.
That was too much. There's too much passing, like you said. Be confident. Maddie had it down low on the block, but she's looking for Cass to dive down, and by that time the defense has recovered.
First personal against Ryan Russell. Coach, that's just something, you know, we've seen them be confident, but the arsenal I would like to see expanded a little bit, and some of that comes within that confidence to take it off the dribble as Maddie volleyball spikes one out of bounds into the third row almost on the shot by Sturgeon.
Yeah, a more varied arsenal is what you say.
Yes.
More, instead of, you can't always just be the one trick
Can't be a turnaround
pony.
jumper that's forced to fade away. We gotta look to widen the palette, so to speak, on the block.
Yeah, I totally understand. You got to be able to throw more at the defense.
Did I use
that's just one thing.
grammar with varied arsenal?
I think that was you're right on point. I think
okay.
No, a varied
I thought
arsenal.
You was checking my grammar.
No, I
Okay.
think.
Not that I wouldn't make a grammatical error.
I have to check Webster's. I don't know.
7:18.
I left my
to go.
thesaurus at home.
Pocket dictionary, I don't know, something like that. 51-38, another
That was a
whistle.
tough call.
Another foul. This will be the 6th whistled against the Lady Senators. And this will go against Cass Keltner. That'll be her 3rd.
Usually Cass doesn't argue a whole lot, but she didn't like that one. I tend to agree with her. That was a little ticky-tack after as physical as this was in the first half.
51-38. Lady Senators down 13. Nicholson takes it high post and backed it back out.
They're in no hurry.
Wise move for a freshman who would normally take that shot. She had the moxie about her and the smarts to pull that out. Yep. As Carter comes up with the steal, turnover number 15 of the game, and the Lady Senators nearly give it right back.
These Lady Wolfpacks, these girls do a lot of the same things that we do normally. To some people, the tap backs, getting the quick hands.
Carter gets her shot swatted into the bottom row of bleachers on the quick inbounds play. 6:46 to go. Lady Senators to reset it. They'll roll Maddie to the basket, and Carter's pass about a half second late. Had just a very, very small window of opportunity to thread that needle, and she could not do it.
Nicholson giving us some trouble right now with her length.
You know, one thing I've noticed here, Coach, is Maddie gets the inbounds pass. In a lot of our inbound sets, and this, I don't want fans to take me the wrong way here. This is purely a basketball observation. As Carter misses the 3, it seems like we don't get very many rollback opportunities to the basket, especially with our bigs.
Yeah, it's, like you just said, you got to be able to show more than one thing at them. I think that was an excellent point that you made.
2 offensive rebounds. That last one for Addie Simpson, and then a 3-ball from the wing. Kendra Covell able to knock down her first triple of the night. She now has 8 in the ball game, and this one becoming a runaway, 54-38. And it's kind of been the same thing with the boys. You know, it seems like the last couple of years, Crawford has stood in our way of a conference title, and tonight it's the Lady Wolfpack doing so, and Coach Russell still searching for answers. Again, he came in 0-2 against the Lady Pack, trying to snap a 3-game skid against Crawford, but they've got a long way to go with just 6 minutes to do so, as Carter will go drive right side, and she can't get the layup to fall. Maddie with the putback basket and in. Maddie now has 12 on the night.
You know, sometimes we have trouble with teams that can match our athleticism too. That's it. These Wolfpack definitely, they're very athletic, and sometimes, I mean, it causes us to like step back almost and like whoa. Usually we run people out of the gym with this press. Well, against good teams, you're just not going to be able to do that. So you have to be able to respond. We've had way too many unforced errors, and we just can't buy a basket underneath.
Lady Pack take a full timeout, 5:49 to go. Let's step aside and take one as well. We'll come back with more fourth quarter action right after this.
This is Kelly, and this is my Walmart. This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
Out of the timeout for the Lady Wolfpack. They get it in against full court pressure as they'll go on the run. Nice feed underneath and good patience as they kick it out to Addie Simpson. She gets knocked to the floor, misses the shot. Maddie Bausman with the rebound. 2-on-2 break, and Russell will be fouled, as I believe it was Sturgeon who stepped in to try to take the charge. She'll be whistled for the blocking foul. This will be team foul number 6 against the Lady Wolfpack of the half. And to the line, Ryan Russell, again, a 76% free throw shooter.
I thought that was a good no call down there. Both our bigs and Maddie and Cass stood there. Simpson tried to break through it, but I mean, that can't be a blocking call on us if we're just standing there and she comes through. They're complaining a little bit, the Crawford fans, but I thought that was absolutely two of the right calls on both sides.
54-41. Russell hit the first. She's got 10. That's her first miss of the night as she leaves the second one a bit short. Lady Senators pick up in the full court man-to-man as they nearly get a steal in the backcourt. Lady Senators giving chase. Simpson again out of control. Carter with the rebound. Maddie, she'll lead the break. Goes 1-on-3. Count it in one for Maddie Bausman as she finishes off the glass. She now has 7 to match her 7 from the first half. Give her 14 in all and a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. This will be team foul number 7 on the Lady Pack. And give that personal to Kaylee Jo Sturgeon, her second. Maddie finishes the old-fashioned three-point play. 54-44, back to a 10-point game. We saw a late rally like this where they got down against 16 against Trinity Lutheran. Let's see if they can work their magic. The only difference is we started this run a little earlier.
Right.
It was about the 2.5-minute mark before we started the run against the Lady Cougars.
I was thinking, it was funny that you said that. I was thinking the same thing. This is about when we started making the run against Trinity. But, I mean, like I said, you got to be able to take quality shots. You got to be able to play defense, but this is right when we started to turn up the pressure against Lutheran.
Grizzle and Nicholson back in. Covell will have a seat as the Lady Senators give it up on the turnover, and to the other end, they'll give up a foul as well, as this will be going against Hattie Griffiths, her 4th. 5:01 to play. Team foul number 7. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way home.
That's, I don't know if that, I mean, it goes back to what you were talking about. Basically, we're just trying to lob it in our inbounds play. And, I mean, you can't do it against an athletic, instinctual player like Simpson. Sooner or later, she's going to burn you because she noticed, okay, all they're doing is just lobbing it into, lob it into a big, lob it into a big. Well, she's too talented to let that go on forever.
And surprisingly enough, Coach, Addie Simpson to the free throw line for her first attempts of the night. She knocks them both down. She now has 14, nearing her average of 17 points per game, 56-44. Substitution as Nicholson checks out of the ball game. We'll go a little offense for defense as Kylie Smith checks back in. Russell in the mid-post tried to feed Keltner. Ball poked away. A lot of over-the-head passes into the post instead of bounce passes after a ball fake. And that's turnover number 8 of the half as Chelsea Carter comes up with a steal. The Lady Senators back in transition. 4:35 and counting. Keltner on the kick out. Thought about it from 3, and Carter instead gave it up to Russell, whose pass was tipped away. 12-point advantage for the Lady Pack. They've led by as many as 16. As a matter of fact, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, same score, 54-38, that it was against Trinity Lutheran.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do the Senators
need somebody to knock down a shot?
Do they have that magic left as Keltner's cut off on the baseline, forces a tough shot and got it to go on the turnaround. Cassidy into double figures with 11. And we'll have a whistle and foul in the backcourt. Brett Decker with the whistle right in front of us. Foul will go on Russell. That'll be her second, team foul number 8.
You were commenting about Simpson only getting to the line 2 times. Well, unless we start denying her the ball out of bounds after we make a shot, she's going to start living at the line.
The type of player that lives for these moments. She is a junior, and she has a nose for the ball as that one rattles in and out, so no good on the 1 and bonus opportunity. Maddie thought about 3 with the pump fake, gave it up to Carter. We got to be patient here as Russell will step out. Her 3 in and out, no good. Fight for the rebound, Sturgeon with it. She'll give it up now to Hammond. He'll dribble left side, fall to the floor, lose the handle out of bounds, and it will go to the Lady Senators, and now Brian Patton will overturn it and say last touch by West Washington. Nicholson in. And it'll be Kylie Smith back out. Again, a little offense for defense here. A little 1-4 low set for the Lady Wolfpack. It's just odd to see, and I've seen this from a lot of boys teams, and maybe it's just a personal preference on my part. I just don't see a lot of screen and rollback action from boys or girls on these inbound sets.
Yeah,
kind of puzzling. Nice take, and here it is.
Yeah,
Simpson, 3rd straight trip to the line. This time, though, she'll get 2 attempts. Foul on the shot.
Gamble to say that she's going to have the ball in her hands the rest of this 3:37, and if it's not in her hands, it's probably going to be in Nicholson's hands.
Team foul number 9 as Cassidy Keltner picks up her 4th. Miller back in, who's played sparingly, coming back off of mono. 3:37 to go. Addie Simpson knocks down the first. Make it 57-46. Second free throw upcoming is good.
Yeah, I'm noticing, even watching college ball too, it almost seems like, well, everybody's just content with just getting the ball in bounds. Instead of it can actually be an offensive play.
I love the screens. I love the rollbacks. Again, that's just a personal preference, but maybe something the Lady Senators have left in the bag, holding back some tricks for the sectional play coming up in just a matter of weeks. As a matter of fact, the girls' draw will be a week from this Sunday, the 21st, and we'll see where they will end up in the bracket. Yeah, because that sectional 62 tournament will be here. Substitution again. Smith and Nicholson trading spots as Maddie goes to the free throw line for the 1 and bonus off the 4th foul of the night for Kaylee Grizzle. Team foul number 8. Maddie's first one up and smooth as silk. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Maddie. She now has 16 on the night.
The question is, have we just dug ourselves too big of a hole?
That one's short. And the Lady Senators trying to claw
scramble
their way
mode.
back. Yep. We've seen them do more. Again, it was about 2.5 to play before they made that run, or just under 3 minutes to go when they were down 16 the other night to Trinity Lutheran. Out front, they'll offer pressure. 5 counts on. Maddie had the deflection. And it goes cross court to Nicholson. And again, the freshman, great patience noted by her as she pulls it back out above the 3-point line. And Maddie, hand closest to the ball, and that gets us a steal. She reached with the hand opposite, and it stays with the Lady Pack. They continue to chew on the clock. 2:41 and counting. Nicholson again patient, but this time whistled for the travel.
She knew it too. She just wanted to get a shot fake in to see if she could get somebody up in the air. She wasn't planning on taking it in, but then she just drug the pivot foot.
Keltner will
That's
check.
good defense. I mean, we pressure. It's good defense by the Senators, just pressuring them around. Somebody really needs to drain a triple here.
Yeah. Keltner in, and fouls out as 3 Lady Wolfpack players slap the floor. Buckling down on defense. Carter's turnaround jumper off the glass will go. Big shot for Carter. Gives her 7 on the night, and it's 58-49. First time we've been in a single-digit deficit for quite some time, Coach.
Cass did a nice job there getting the deflection. I mean, Havoc, the old Shaka Smart and VCU Havoc press, and then if they break it in half court, then you start fouling. But we got to do something to get turnovers here.
Long baseball pass in. Good pass
because
by
they're going to bring it out. They showed that last possession.
And Sturgeon turns it over. Griffiths with the steal. She'll drive it against Simpson. No call. No shot made. Offensive rebound back up. No good for Keltner. And it is Simpson who comes out there with it. It should be whistled for a double dribble, and that'll be turnover number 19 on the night. Substitution as Ryan Russell will check into the ball game. Hattie Griffiths will check out.
But again, had 2 shots there right at the rim, couldn't finish. So,
2-minute warning.
Under 10, there's a shot.
58-49, Keltner in the post, turnaround jumper, left it short. Nicholson will lead the break, 2-on-2, and she will slow it up. Nope, she'll split a defender, misses her shot, gets her own rebound, and she'll be fouled. And that may be all she wrote for Keltner. If that's on her, that's her 5th. And it is indeed. So Cassidy Keltner will have to cash in her chips for the night on her 5th personal, team foul number 10, minute 46 to play. And that will send the freshman, Treasure Nicholson, to the line, a 5'10 freshman averaging 8 and 8 for Coach Broughton. And to the free throw line, she knocks the first down. The good news is, Coach, in the first quarter, she went 1 for 2 and 1 for 2. So we'll see if the trend continues. Second one on the way, it's good. First back-to-back makes of the night for the freshman, makes it 60-49. Coach Russell with 2 full timeouts in his pocket if his Lady Senators get in some trouble. Right now they try to kick out, they do, to Bousman, to Carter, 3, left side, bang, got it to go. 10 on the night for Carter, her 2nd make from downtown, and it's 60-52 with a minute 32 to play. Full timeout for Coach Darren Russell and company. Will step aside and take one as well. You're listening to Lady Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MediView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Timeout for Coach Darren Russell leaves him with 1 full timeout remaining. Minute 32 to go. It'll be full court pressure, a 1 or rather a 2-2-1 look, a little hybrid 2-2-1 as they'll guard the inbounder, and Griffiths tries to reach in from behind on the swipe away, and that'll be all she wrote for Griffiths. That'll be her 5th team foul, number 11. So Cassidy fouls out, Hattie fouls out. Lady Senators will try to make it down the stretch with Miller, Bausman, Carter, Fouch, and Russell.
Well, the only bright spot of that is with Simpson going to the line. But for us, I mean, with 1:30 to go, down 8 right now, if she knocks these down, we got to have somebody knock down a triple. And neither of the two ladies that just fouled out are really the long-range gunners, you know. So at least we have our gunners still in there. Be nice if she missed this one, too. Somebody's got to check the shooter.
Simpson with the first shot up, and she rimmed it in and out. She hits this one, though, as her big night continues as well. 61-52. Maddie thought about 3, sends it to Fouch, who is wide open, left it short. Nicholson brings it out. She'll kick it ahead to the lead. That's Sturgeon. She'll be fouled. Down and in 1. As Fouch cannot stop the progress of the shooter. And Sturgeon with perhaps the dagger into the Lady Senators as she'll get an and 1 opportunity off the foul by Fouch. That makes it 63-52. And for Fouch, she picks up her 3rd team foul, number 12.
Yeah, that could be a dagger right there. Missing a 3 and then maybe a 3-point play on the other end. That could be the killer.
Add that to her long list of triples made tonight, and it's 64-52. The Lady Senators with yet another turnover on the post feed. And Nicholson will pull it out to Grizzle, and they'll give it up to Simpson out front. Lady Senators giving chase. Ball bobbled around. Maddie trying to poke it away. 2 near steals for the Lady Senators. Sturgeon will drive, and she'll be whistled for the travel and unforced turnover. Crawford matching their first half total of 10, now with 20 in the ball game, 54.1 to go.
May have dug ourselves too big a hole here with 50 seconds to go, unless somebody starts knocking down the guns.
Step back 3 for Carter is short. Rebound ping-pongs off into the hands of Simpson, who's knocked to the floor. And they'll either get Bausman or Russell for this one, perhaps Russell. Team foul number 13, and the Lady Wolfpack will try to go to 4-0 and finish this off here as the foul goes against Maddie Bausman, just her first of the night. Again, team foul 13. And this Wolfpack crowd, they can start to feel it as the Wolfpack power chant begins on this side of the gym. And for the Lady Wolfpack, another made free throw down the stretch. Simpson has been very good from the free throw line. 7 out of 9 in this quarter alone. It's now 66.
10 out of 12 for the team.
52, Fouch underneath, and that's been typical of our night. Another missed layup, and a Lady Senator foul on the reach, and they'll either get Russell or Miller. And that's just about going to do it here. Put the final touches on this one as Miller picks up her second, team foul 14. Lady Wolfpack with this quality road win, coach, will move to 4-0, 11-6 overall, and the Lady Senators will drop to 4-1 now with a game looming against Paoli here next Thursday night as the first free throw is up and good for Nicholson.
So it's not totally out of the picture, right? If we can somehow put together 4 quarters and beat a very good Paoli team, so Crawford still has to play Paoli, correct?
Correct, and that's scheduled actually for Saturday, which I doubt happens as Maddie's 3 will be off the mark. Nicholson will pull it out. Lady Senators will call off the dogs. Coach Russell instructs his girls not to foul, and the Lady Wolfpack and company will celebrate this as they'll dribble out the clock. Simpson with it, a great ball player. First time I've got to see her play in her career.
Yeah, I saw her as a freshman here, and I knew she was going to be a bear to contend with over her career.
And they're dribbling this one out, and that's all she wrote as the final buzzer sounds. And the Lady Wolfpack pull off a smidge of an upset here on the road. 67-52 is the final. Again, Lady Pack staying undefeated in conference play, 4-0. But as I said just a moment ago, Coach, all is not lost, because even though this is supposed to be a Saturday game, which is likely not to be played, with school already being canceled for many of the local school corporations for tomorrow with the inclement weather on the way, this Lady Wolfpack team, they still have to face Paoli, and that game's scheduled to be at Paoli. So, best chance scenario, Paoli takes care of business at home against Crawford. That gives them 1 loss. West Washington takes care of business here against Paoli. That gives Paoli 1 loss, and at worst, you got a 3-way tie for the conference crown.
Right, and that's what you have to play for. I mean, you got to hope for that Paoli beats Crawford. I mean, you know, which isn't out of the realm of possibility at all. That's a good team. If you let them get to the basket, that's a tough team to handle, because Simpson, obviously, and Nicholson, man, they are really athletic. They're good players. And what helped them tonight, which I assume, you know, obviously we only see them one time, but I bet all season long they haven't been able to kick it out to a hot shooter like Sturgeon, like Grizzle hit a couple. I mean, obviously if they were averaging 40 some points coming in, they scored 67. They got some unusual points tonight. So, I mean, obviously Sturgeon just caught fire, and Grizzle in the first half hit 2 in a row. That really started Crawford's climb to get that, 7-point halftime lead. She actually hit 2 in a row.
She definitely poured the initial gasoline on that little offensive output, and then Sturgeon just able to pick up the flame and keep it fanned from there as she went off for 11 alone in that second quarter of play. Lady Senators fall short here tonight on the Ron Smith Court. We'll come back to begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game show and wrap up right after this word from a couple of our sponsors.
Police, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel seamanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Lady Senators fall in a heartbreaker here on the Ron Smith Court tonight to the Lady Wolfpack. Again, 67-52 your final. And Coach, once the Lady Wolfpack, as we said earlier, seized control at the end of that first quarter, it was almost like, all right, it's time to clamp down here a little bit. Now, that's not to say that this win was all contributed to the fact that the Lady Wolfpack were so solid defensively. A lot of that had to do, and you'll talk about this a little bit later on when you run down the stats, we did not have a very good night from the floor, especially inside the paint, at least in that first half especially.
Inside the paint, I mean, 12 of 40 for the games. I mean, we'll come back to that, but that's 30%, whereas they shot 15 of 31 for 48%. So, I mean, I think they got to the rim a little bit more than we did. We settled for some 6 to 10 foot jumpers that rimmed out. And I think that was a big difference. And, rebounding wise, like I said, even at halftime, that was pretty even. They actually ended up out rebounding us 36 to 32. But, at the end of the fourth quarter, when we're trying to throw up some threes just to get back into the game, you kind of give up some rebounds. So that's kind of normal. For the game, we had 9 offensive rebounds. They had 8. So that was a pretty even rebounding game. But, I think it comes back to you. We didn't shoot the ball well, and when they had the pressure put on us, we didn't respond at times by making some silly turnovers.
We'll wait to hear from Lady Senator head coach Darren Russell, who's still up there with his Lady Senators at the moment. I'm sure he'll make his way down. As a matter of fact, here he comes down the steps. So we won't break into the overall scoring for both ball clubs individually, but this was a game tonight where, again, first quarter kind of crazy with all those lead changes, 7 in fact, and 3 ties, but after they seized control there at the end of the first quarter, they put the clamps down a little bit and did just enough to keep spreading that lead out, as we're joined by Lady Senator head coach Mr. Darren Russell. And Coach, tough one tonight for your team here. Started out pretty solid, and we thought we were going to see a game that may end up in the 80s for that matter, as it was a 21-18 first quarter stop, and a first quarter, as I just said, that saw 7 lead changes and 3 ties. Did you like the pace early?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like the pace, but we've got to be smart with the ball. We had a lot of careless turnovers there in the first half, and even some in the second half. And that's what I stood up there and was telling them. If you're going to win championships, you got to take care of the ball. You got to take advantage of things. For example, in that first quarter when Addie Simpson goes down and is sitting for 2 or 3 minutes over there, we should have went on a run, and we didn't do that. And that's what I told them. I said, good teams, they smell blood in the water, they become sharks. And we didn't do that tonight. And, I told them, I said, I want you to bottle this feeling up that you have right now, because they're upset. I mean, they're upset because they had a chance to be the first team in school history to win a conference, and we came out and laid an egg. And I said, but I want you to remember this, because I don't want to be sitting here in 3 weeks looking at you guys with the same emotion. So, hopefully we're going to learn from it. It was just a frustrating night.
Well, and I was going to save that for a little bit later on in our conversation, but Coach, the good news is, while Crawford moves to 4-0 and you drop to 4-1 now, what you have to hope for is that in that game at Paoli takes care of business on their home floor, and then you can deliver here next week against Paoli, and then you've got one loss apiece, so not all is lost.
Right, and that's what I told him. I said, the problem is we no longer control our destiny. We've got to hope that Paoli can knock off Crawford, and like you said, we knock Paoli off next Thursday. But it's going to require a much better effort than we had tonight.
Tonight, though, Coach, you do get pretty good balance. I guess the silver lining in the cloud hanging above this team over the loss. You get 16, a great night for Maddie. Although it was a very quiet 16, because I felt like, and Coach Gibson and I talked about this, she had so many shots in that 6 to 8 foot range in the paint, and they were awkward angles where she couldn't really use the glass.
No, and I felt like, especially the first half, she was shooting off balance on those. I know it's a runner, but her body was kind of contorted a couple times, and I didn't even see how she got it on the rim. But a lot of those shots that she did miss, that rimmed out, she'd missed 2 days of practice, and that's to be expected. And like we've talked before, I mean, shots are going to, you're going to miss shots, and I'm not going to be too upset about that, especially if they're good shots.
But maybe something that goes underestimated sometimes, when you're a team that plays so hard and creates so much chaos and frenzy defensively for 32 minutes. It takes a toll on the legs, and that's not to mention the fact, like you said, that people like her and Cora have been out with illness. So you got to battle weak legs, tired legs from the illness, on top of the fact that you've given chase for 32 minutes or the better part of it. Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, we play pretty much the entire first half with Hattie and Chelsea sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. So, Maddie didn't get much of a break. Ryan didn't get much of a break. We could rotate Cora and Cassidy a little bit. But, once Taylor came in, our guards pretty much stayed the same. So,
we've got to get smarter, stay out of foul trouble, and it was a frustrating night.
You got good balance, as I said a moment ago. Not only did you get the 16 from Maddie, you got 10 apiece from Ryan and Chelsea, and then Cassidy Keltner, I thought, for the better part of 3 quarters, stayed out of foul trouble, gave you some solid looks inside. A tough night for a couple other girls. I know Cora's trying to get back into a flow a little bit. Hattie battled foul trouble, went scoreless. So some things to clean up, but some positives to look at as well. And I thought for the first half especially, with a girl like Simpson on the floor that was such a threat, and you talked about her in our pregame conversation, you held her to 6 at half. You had to be pretty pleased.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the thing. They had kids hitting threes that I don't think had hit 3 all year long. I mean, I don't know how many threes 24 and 33 ended up with, but
Grizzle hit the 2 in the first quarter, and then that started Sturgeon, who ended up with 3 alone in the second.
Yeah, so, I mean, those girls –
that's what Coach Gibson said. Yeah. How many times do they get kickouts to those girls and they're knocking down those shots?
Exactly. And we didn't get a lot of open looks, and when we would have people open, our pass would be a half second late or a tenth of a second late, and just throw it off, or we didn't see people when they were open all the time. It just wasn't a great night for us, but a lot of that had to do with Crawford County. I mean, Crawford County played extremely hard, and they challenged everything.
Coach, I know another silver lining that you got to be pleased with, and you talked about the improved performance at the line Monday night down at Rock Creek tonight. Even though you only shoot 21 for the game, and what seemed like you should have shot 50 with as many fouls as were being called, especially in the first half on Crawford. You go 16 to 21 for 76%. So that increase in percentage is where you're wanting it to get by the time the tournament rolls around.
Yeah, and, a lot of those misses, I'd say, came in the fourth quarter. And, I mean, you could see it in their faces. I mean, they were dead. They were gassed. And, they're going to learn from this that they got to use their legs more. I mean, because I know Ryan came up short on one, Maddie came up on short on 1 or 2. And, those girls are who you want at the free throw line, and, they've got to put them in when we get there.
So Crawford gets some untimely threes from a couple of unsung heroes tonight, and the Sturgeon girl and the Grizzle girl, and that's just enough. You did force 20 turnovers in all 10 in each half, so defensively, right around, I would say, probably where you want to be. I know you got some things you're going to work on and fine-tune for tournament time, but going ahead and looking forward to next week, where does this leave you, and what do you work on from here?
Well, I thought we started out the game doing an excellent job rebounding, limiting them to one shot. And, then towards the end of the second quarter, we got a little lazy on blockouts, and they got some second shots and capitalized on them. And then the third and fourth quarter, I felt like, same thing. We started out good, but then it was the concentration or just the focus of doing it every single time. And, that's something against Paoli. If we don't do that, if we don't block them out, they're big girls in Rice and Chastain are going to kill us rebounding. So, that's something we've really got to make sure we do well next week.
Normally, I would say after a loss like this, maybe a day off of school with a snow day would be just what the team needed to kind of chill, let this one get put way back in the deep freeze and locked away. But now some uncertainty with all this weather, how you're going to be able to handle things moving forward.
Well, and that's what I said. We'll see what the weather does tomorrow. We're supposed to play Saturday, but if it's as bad as what they're calling for and we get the ice, then obviously we're not going to practice. And if we have to play Saturday without practicing, so be it. And then next week, who knows what next week holds. So, but, we will bounce back. I mean, but like I said, I want them girls, I want them to remember this feeling tonight and, make sure this doesn't happen in 3 weeks at sectional. And, the other thing is come sectional, I want this place packed with West Washington fans because, Crawford brought a good crowd tonight, and I felt like, at times their crowd gave their girls energy, and, we needed that at times tonight. So we need a huge crowd come sectional.
Sure thought we were going to see a deja vu moment. It was, I believe, 54-38, same score when you got down 16 tonight as it was against Trinity Lutheran. You had a little bit more time to work with. You did get it down to 9, but again, some silver linings to take away from this one. here tonight, and hopefully the weather's not as bad as what they're calling for. You can get your game in Saturday and get some practice time, but we'll have you again next Thursday night for the Paoli game, and hopefully the Lady Rams will take care of business on their end, and you guys can do the same next Thursday.
I certainly hope so. I appreciate you guys doing this. So
no problem,
thanks
Coach.
a lot.
Coach Russell joins us here on our Ace Hardware of Salem Lady Senator post-game show coverage. Here tonight, his team falls 67-52 is the final. Let's go ahead and run down the individual scoring. First for the Lady Wolfpack, now 11-6 on the year, 4-0 in conference play. They get 3 girls in double figures tonight. Addie Simpson leads the way as expected with 19 points on the night, including 7 of 9 shooting from the charity stripe. Kaylee Jo Sturgeon, an unsung hero, again averaging just 2 points per game on the season. Are you kidding me? She comes up with 17 tonight, and 11 of them coming in the second quarter of play, including 3 makes from downtown. Brenna Hammond chips in 4, Kendra Covell with 8, Treasure Nicholson, which will be a good freshman. You talked about seeing Simpson as a freshman. I think Nicholson will be much the same in the post for Coach Broughton over the next few years. Nicholson has 13 on the night. The only player in the 5-person rotation off the bench in the 10 that played in all tonight for the Lady Wolfpack to score was Kaylee Grizzle. She chipped in those 2 big threes in the first quarter off the bench. Bailey Gilmore, Brooke Elliott, Kylie Smith, and Autumn Shiger played, but were unable to tally. Lady Wolfpack goes 16-23 overall from the charity stripe for 70% after just 3 for 5 performance in the first half of play. They commit 10 turnovers in each half for a total of 20 on the night. Meanwhile, for the Lady Senators, they now go to 14-7 overall on the year, 4-1 in conference play. They get 4 players tonight in double figures in a balanced attack. Maddie Bausman leads the way with 16 on the night, including 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 11 for Cassidy Keltner, who goes 1 of 2 from the stripe, and then 10 apiece for Chelsea Carter and Ryan Russell. Hattie Griffiths battled foul trouble and was the only starter that did not tally here this evening. Off the bench, Cora Miller and Bailey Roll played, but did not tally. Taylor Fouch chips in 5, including 3 of 4 from the charity stripe and 1 field goal in the third period of play. Lady Senators, as we said, 16-21 from the foul line for 76% on the night. 14 of those 21 free throw attempts coming alone in the first half of play, where they were 12 of 14 at the break. They turn it over almost as many times, 9 in each half, as they commit 18 overall in the contest. Scoring after the first quarter is 21-18 after the first stop. Lady Pack out in front. They seized that lead at the end of the first quarter and never gave it up as they outscore the Lady Senators 13-9 in the second period to go in up 34-27 at the break. They outscore the Lady Senators 15-11 in the third period, extending their lead to 49-38 at the third quarter break and stop. And then in the fourth quarter, Lady Senators get outscored again 18-14 on the way to Crawford County 67-52 win. Coach, you got some final team statistics.
Yeah, teams shooting. Senators, like we said, just struggled to find the bottom of the barrel here today. 12 of 40 inside the arc for 30%. 4 of 16 from behind the arc, although a few of those were right at the end where you're kind of desperation threes, but that's 25% for a total field goal percentage of 29%. Free throws 76. You've already really done free throws, but you compare the 29% with Crawford County, 15 of 31 inside the arc for 48%, 7 of 15 behind the arc for 47. So Crawford shoots 48% to the Senators 29%. So I think that's pretty big. Everything else was pretty even. Crawford County out-rebounded us 36-32, so that's pretty even. 9 offensive boards for us, 8 for them. Maddie led us with rebounds with 13 rebounds, 3 offensive. Assists, 13 for the Senators, 10 for Crawford. 3 assists both for Russell and Bausman, and and Carter also chipped in 4 steals. Rebounds for Crawford, obviously, they're 2 big studs. Simpson had 13 rebounds, Nicholson had 9. So, those 2 are a force to be reckoned with. And if those two girls, Sturgeon and Grizzle, are going to knock down threes for them. They're going to be a tough out here down the stretch. So, you know, we talked about we really need them to beat Paoli. Well, I think if they play like they played tonight, it's possible. But, you know, obviously Paoli, I mean, just looking at scores, obviously they're a pretty good ball club.
We're going to step aside, take our final break of the night as we look to wrap things up here from Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. We'll take that final break and hear from our post-game show sponsor, Ace Hardware of Salem. When we come back, we'll name our Ace Hardware Player of the Night, and we'll wrap things up from Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium right after this.
With the helpful hardware, folks. We have 5 kids, and somehow their hands and feet are always on the wall. So I went to Molly at Ace. I told Sharon when it comes to durable paint, you can't do better than Valspar Optimus. Ace is the place that knows a lot about paint, but not why kids drag their hands on walls when they walk.
Before your next project, talk to your local paint experts, Eva Marie and Erica at Ace Hardware of Salem, about our top-rated interior and exterior paints.
Back for the final time inside the gymnasium here at West Washington High School, the friendly confines in the Ron Smith Court. Time to name our Ace Hardware Player of the Night, and that'll go to the junior post player, Maddie Bowsman, our Player of the Night. 16 points, 13 rebounds for the big double-double in conference play. She also chipped in 3 assists as well, so congratulations to Maddie Bowsman, who's not very happy right now, along with some of her teammates, about this loss. But as I told her father during the break, I'd rather see that disgusted look on her face now than in a couple of weeks come tournament time whenever it's too late.
Absolutely. That's you want your players after a tough game, and they knew it was a big game. I mean, you know, you should feel that way after a loss. I mean, we want our football players to feel that way. If we come in, you know, on the short end of the stick against say a Paoli or a Perry, we want them to have a little scowl on their face afterwards. It's, you know, these athletes and coaches too put a lot of effort into this, and they put a lot of hard work into it. So I mean, they should feel a little grumpy after a tough loss. Like you said, sectionals coming up, big draw here in a couple of weeks, and you know, if we get play on that first day, you got to win 3 in a row. So at some point, we got to bust through that 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss situation.
And it's not very often that not only do you get a sectional on your home floor, but you also know that if you make it out of that sectional on your home floor, you don't have to travel and worry about mileage because you're right back here the next Saturday for the regional.
Yeah, regional as well. So things are setting up for us. I mean, obviously having Cora back, it looks like she still needs a little bit more time to get back into the real flow of the game. She was kind of disjointed, and obviously Coach Russell's kind of monitoring her minutes, and you know, so hopefully when she gets back to full strength, and hopefully Maddie will get over her little bug too. So, you know, that section is going to be interesting. Obviously, we played pretty well in stretches against Edinburgh, but I thought they were a pretty decent ball club too. You know, obviously Trinity and West Washington are the 2 favorites, but you know, every now and then Crothersville can get hot. They got a couple of shooters that come back from that team from last year. So obviously we want Trinity on the other side of that, and you know, hopefully. I don't know. I've never been a part of the basketball sectional. You would have to tell me, would you rather play that first night to get the jitters, or would you rather have a bye in a 16? You know, that's always tough. You never know. Certain people like to get out there and get going, and some say, I wouldn't mind that bye in a certain situation.
Well, I got to tell you, from a player standpoint, my senior year was the first year we went to class basketball, and we had the sectional here. So that was a comfort in and of itself, and everybody had the excitement knowing we were finally out of that buzzsaw with Jennings County, Brownstown, Seymour, and the likes. And we drew the bye and had Medora on Friday night, and that was really nice. And no knock on Medora, but we had already routed them once. We were able to do the same thing. You got people in to the lineup. You got everybody's feet wet in tournament time. You expel the butterflies from everyone. You get your starters some rest if you're able to play someone where you can get out to a sizable lead, and then you come back focused and locked in, ready after a shoot around on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, ready to roll for championship night. And so, who knows? May end up with Trinity Lutheran the first night, but again, ideally, like you said, you want them on opposite ends, and I would venture to guess that Coach Russell would be okay having the bye.
Yeah, it's exciting, but we don't want to put the cart before the horse, because there's definitely, especially after tonight, there's some big games remaining. Obviously, I don't know what'll happen Saturday with the Du Bois game, since it's not a conference, if they'll make it up this close to sectional, but that's a good ball club. They're, according to Sager, and one of their favorites in their sectional. We still have Paoli, and that's a must-win game for us now. There's still some ball games on the schedule that we need to get concentrated on and get ready to play.
And with that said about Saturday, and we've mentioned it a couple times, and Senator fans know this, you've already got the little jingle and little call from Superintendent Keith Nance, who's always ready to bust a tune and bust a move on a snow day whenever he gives the all call. But, of course, the 3 county schools, Salem, Eastern, and West Washington, all already canceling classes tomorrow, so everybody will be out with the inclement weather moving in. As well. I believe Eastern's going to use that as an e-learning day. Seymour already closed. Becky sent me Jennings County, Seymour, Brownstown all closed. Brown County, Perry Central, Tell City, and I'm sure most of the schools in southern Indiana, I know most of the Kentucky schools as well, already calling it quits and taking a day off. So we'll see what happens from here. But, Coach, hopefully some of this cold weather moves out. It's supposed to by the end of next week. Maybe at least enough of the snow will be off of the ground and the ice will be melted away enough to where we can get in here and have this game with Paoli next Thursday night. And we'll see you then.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
Tonight, the Lady Senators get 4 players in double figures. Crawford County gets 3, and it's their 3 that lead the way, with Addie Simpson chipping in 19 on the night. And again, Kaylee Jo Sturgeon, the unsung hero, with 17, including 11 of those 17 in the second quarter, as the Lady Wolfpack prevail and move to 4-0 in conference play. Lady Senators, again, now 14-7 overall, 4-1 in the conference. As always, we want to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Lady Senator basketball, whether you've listened the entire time or just joining us on the way home during our Lady Senator Ace Hardware of Salem post-game wrap-up here from the Ron Smith Court. We also want to thank all the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Lady Senator and Senator basketball possible this season. And those sponsors one final time: John Jones, GM City, our pregame show sponsor; Eddie Gilstrap Motors, bringing you the halftime report; and Ace Hardware of Salem, bringing you this post-game show coverage, as well as Marie Lowry and McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem, Walmart of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, and Brady Bishop and Channel Seed, all great sponsors. Without their generous support, we would not be able to do this job we love each night the Senators and Lady Senators play. So please let those sponsors know how much they are truly appreciated. For our studio engineer back on rainy Radio Ridge tonight, Miss Becky White, you guys stay safe in the winter storm, and hopefully it's not as bad as they say. But Becky's closings that she sent me maybe prove otherwise, that it could, in fact, get pretty nasty tomorrow, so everybody be safe. But for Becky and Greg back at the station, our studio producers and engineers, my sidekick and broadcast partner, Mark Gibson, and our live stream video operator tonight, Craig Akers, this is Misty Jones saying so long and good night from the friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where the Lady Senators fall in conference play to the Lady Wolfpack of Crawford County. Your final score, 67-52. Until Thursday night, goodbye, everybody.